There we go. Okay. Here we go.
You kind of. I
got
just
it.
see your. Okay, there we go. Yeah. All
And
right. Cool.
and
You
that's good.
should see A. Okay, we
All
got
right.
A. It's a good start.
Here we go.
All right, made it past that part. That's encouraging. So I guess to give a brief summary of this game, just in case anyone's tuning in for the first time, general logic is you play as Crystal, who was originally the main character of this game, but then just became like the side character. Then she gets captured. You play as Fox. You collect the first spell stone, and then replace it. Collect the second Krizoa Spirit, because Crystal gets the first. Release that. Do the second spell stone, third Krizoa Spirit, third spell stone, fourth Krizoa Spirit, fourth spell stone, fifth Krizoa Spirit, and then sixth Krizoa Spirit. That's just like a general, like high level overview. TAS will skip most of that stuff though. Like of all the things I just mentioned, we never get the second Krizoa Spirit, for example, the one that would normally be second.
Yep.
And we also never collect or play spellstones 1 or 3. So that's all going to be skipped over completely.
There's been a trick that's been proven like a long time ago to be possible, which is freeze blast skip, and it's just ridiculous to do RTA. So that we always knew about it, but only a task can really do it in like real time. It's impossible. Like it's what the route's gonna be for this. It's gonna be the freeze blast skip route.
Yeah, so I discovered this trick it was about a year ago now. I discovered that if you get the ground quake, you can use it to skip past certain flames because you can like hover in midair by an inch, which that trick I've been known about for a while, but the fact that you could use it to skip the flames there with a very precise angle wasn't known until I figured that out.
When I watch this do this, it like to me it looks like it shoots faster than I can do. I don't get it.
In this part I'm basically shooting once 3 times a second, like once every 22 frames ish, if I remember correctly.
So you gotta press every 22 frames?
Yeah, that's I think the fastest it would let me do it. Like it would kind of alternate by 1 frame, like sometimes it'd be once every 21 frames or once every 22 frames. I'm not sure what causes the difference though.
So this is what you do when you task games, you learn exactly how many frames things are. It's like really interesting. And you can actually like really break apart the game and see how the developers like, put like pause frames between animations so you can't just spam them, for example.
Somebody's asking in the chat, is the task thing self-aware? Answer, no, not really. It's all just a pre-recorded set of inputs. And if they get out of sync by 1 frame, then the task will just walk into a wall because it's not like correcting itself or anything. It's just a list of inputs. You can think of it like a movie reel where it's just playing back each frame, what's on the film strip, and that's all there is.
Does the GameCube have set RNG upon loading? In this game?
In Dolphin, it should. In real life, the GameCube RNG is based on like weird things like disk load factor, which is based on like how many particles of dust are on your disk and insane things like that make it basically random.
Oh, the SpongeBob strat where you like spit on your disk.
Yeah, where you put your grease on your disk to influence RNG. Yeah, basically.
Classic.
For those who don't know in chat, there's a strat in the SpongeBob video game for GameCube where you put like 5 grease stains on specific parts of your disc, so it'll lag a lot in the game, so you can flip through a wall somewhere.
So good.
Yeah. But yeah, this task doesn't do that.
Yeah. So what you're gonna notice is the first like 30 minutes is pretty glitchless, but I think it's still nice to see is you'll see lots of optimal movement. It's gonna be very different to an RTA run, even on the glitchless sections.
Yeah, unfortunately, at the beginning, we're stuck as Crystal, and she doesn't have her staff because she got knocked out of her hands, so we're kind of just stuck doing barrel escorts for the first 20 minutes.
Once you get the soft, the game like opens up a lot.
Yeah, once you get to Fox, the good part happens. Originally, Crystal was supposed to be the main character of this game back when it was called Dinosaur Planet, but then Shigeru Miyamoto saw this and thought, oh, some of the characters in this game look kind of like Fox. Like, what if we just made it a Star Fox game and Crystal is just like a meme character? So, yeah, this is all that's left. This is the only part she has left in the game now.
So, Lobster, how long did this task take you?
Oh, man. It took a while. I mean, I was 23 years old when I started it, and I'm 25 now that it's finished.
Jesus.
So, over a year. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
This had the number of re-records it had. Re-records means how many times you load an earlier save state, like to redo something. This had over 175,000 total re-records at the end. So it took an insane amount of effort and time.
It's a long game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely our most ambitious task to date. I'm not doing one this long again. Next one I do is going to be like an Atari 2600 game, maybe like 30 seconds.
Nice. And you tested the sports game, right?
The what?
You tested like a sports game before?
Oh yeah, I also tasked NFL Street for GameCube. That's the one other GameCube game I tasked. I think actually on YouTube, my followers probably think of me as an NFL Street tasker because that's like where most of my content is. They're probably like wondering last year, like, why is there all the Star Fox stuff? Where's the NFL Street? But yeah, I've been doing this for the last year instead.
The people leaving.
Yeah, sad. They'll come another day for NFL Street.
So one thing you might notice there is he threw it insanely far from that box and it still hit. That's like the
that
furthest
was
you
the
can throw
earliest
it.
possible for him. I could have done it.
Yeah. Look how early he turns. He falls a tiny bit even.
Yeah, if you fall off a ledge with an explosive barrel in this game, you automatically throw it. So that's why I can't just like drop right down immediately.
Mm-hmm.
One little time save I do here also is if you grab this barrel here and use it to break the crates, it's faster than using an explosive barrel for it by like 3 seconds.
And I think
that's something RTA runners do also.
I think Doc found that, was it Zach?
Maybe. I think it's been on for a while because I think even in like BBQR's old task from 2016, he still did that.
So those flames
this
are
part I
RNG.
make it through the flames frame perfectly. This is literally like, yeah, if I was 1 frame later, I would have blown up there. And
That's
the barrel
actually
would've
like
gotten
not
destroyed.
optimal RNG. Optimal RNG, you just walk forward like completely straight. Like, but
Yeah, although
obviously
it's all based
it's
on
a
a global
task.
timer, so you can't. I don't think you can really manipulate it much. It's like based on what frame you entered Krizoa Palace on, or something like that,
Oh really?
and then it's set from that point onwards, and you're just racing the clock. It might be random at that exact moment, like when you set it. I'm not 100% sure. I just know that once you like actually set it, you can't alter it, unfortunately. But yeah, I had to restart the tasks like from the beginning like 2 or 3 times because I originally was doing this in a much older version of Dolphin, and apparently that version of Dolphin desyncs horrendously. Like every 20 seconds it would just desync, and it was just like unbearable. And when I finally got to playing as Fox, it got so bad that it was like I was tasking the part where you kill the first 4 sharp claws, and every time I did it, I would task like 10 seconds forward and then try to play it back, and it would always immediately desync, and I just gave up. So yeah, I had to restart a couple times. This is on a more modern version of Dolphins, that's why it works. The game, it doesn't emulate perfectly on Dolphin, but it's gotten a lot better than it used to be in 2016.
Yeah. This game has really bad emulations where like if you enter specific cutscenes, it has a really high chance of just crashing Dolphin. And in general, a lot of like cutscenes and particle effects just lag it for no reason. But a lot of the compiler stuff and the settings of Vulkan, it's got a lot better nowadays than what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
This game is not the best game to play on emulator. Definitely play on console.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So the only thing Crystal really does, she gets Krizoa Spirit 1, she releases it, and then gets trapped in the crystal. But the devs had a laugh writing that into the script. And then you get to play as Fox, and the good part of the game starts.
Ladder skip.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, she's gonna like hover up the ladder. Some crazy test stuff, clearly. JK.
Oh, yeah.
It's like when you watch OT for the first time. What?
Like, what? Powercraft stabbing? What's that?
So yeah. Sadly, you cannot skip ladders in this game. You can skip climbing down ladders, but you can't skip climbing up ladders.
Yeah, there's only one. For most ladders in this game, if you just roll over them and don't hold the control stick, it'll prevent Fox or Crystal from grabbing onto them, which you're going to see right here when she goes over the edge here. There's only one ladder in the game this task goes over, which doesn't work, which is the one in Thorntail Hollow coming back from Snowhorn's waist. The game forces you to grab that one. No idea why. But yeah.
The saddest ladder in the game.
Yeah, so you'll finally get to see what Fox's slide down a ladder animation looks like. I guess it's good, otherwise it would have wasted all the devs' talent programming that in if you never used it in this task. So, that's nice.
So here we have
Oh
the
yeah, here I
first
just kind of
instance
messed
of
around
RNG.
because you're just... Yeah, here I just messed around because you're just waiting for the barrels to stop moving. You'll pick the one with the spirits in. So, I'm just doing some laps around the diamond here. Killing time. Getting some reps in.
Does taking damage during the cutscene cause lag?
I doubt it. I mean, I think...
I wasn't sure.
It's probably fixed. Yeah. Also, the task does this a lot, just like spinning in circles when it has to wait just for fun. You can do that by just holding ESS position and then rapidly changing when you're about to reach like the left or right side of the screen.
Even with the dead zone?
Well, and Yeah, it does have a dead zone, but I just ignore it. Like, when you're testing, you can kind of program in. There's like 255 possible X inputs, like how left or right you can be holding, and 255 possible Y units. So
does Dolphin have the dead
anything,
zone?
yeah, the dead zone is something like it goes. You can start ESSing at about 148 input units in any direction. If you're holding that much, it'll count as outside the dead zone, and then up to about 158 units, where it counts as starting to slowly move forward. So anything in between that.
I think that's better than console. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so anything in between that, you can move and just turn in that direction without moving.
Because this game and Sunshine, if you use an ESS adapter, it actually gives you more input.
Yeah.
It's really funny. You can actually make your character walk better than you normally can, but you need an adapter. It's so stupid. I mean, it's useless for this game, which is funny.
Yeah, fortunately, this game, there's pretty much no tricks that actually like use ESS position. I just do it for fun when I have downtime in the task.
Technically, is. The S-Swims are kind of like ESS.
Oh, do you mean like for setups for them or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's kind of used for like setups.
The task probably just shield hovers
like...
on the waterfall, I'm guessing, so it doesn't even need it.
Yeah, I mean, in my case, it kind of just like I just like stop abruptly when I need to in the test.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Crystal, we're almost done with
so
this.
I question, why are you rolling with Crystal? Is it actually faster?
I think if I remember correctly, it's a little faster. So I should probably explain movement mechanics in this game. Walking is, let's call it 100% speed. It's a bit slower if you walk while targeting, which is like 96% speed or something, which I just don't do that ever. If you roll perfectly, like which is once every 40 frames as early as you can, I think it's like 103% speed compared to walking, or maybe 101% speed. It's not very much. And then if you roll with shield canceling, which you can only do once you get the staff as Fox, then it's like 107% speed, so you go a little bit faster. I
hope you like hearing Fox grunt for like an hour or two.
I like it. Some people get annoyed by it and say it's like irritating. I think it's like ASMR listening to like the roll shield cancel constantly. I'll see what chat thinks. Maybe they'll hate it. Maybe they'll find it relaxing.
We'll see.
I think it's hit or miss. I think.
Like, sometimes I try to do an RTA and I'm just like, I'm probably just losing time doing it. It's stupid.
Yeah, you have to be pretty fast to get it to work well.
Yeah. So this is probably the longest cutscene in the game. This cutscene takes forever.
Yeah, the very dramatic music playing here.
If you're watching a VOD of this, you probably have enough time to go make a cup of coffee. This cutscene takes forever.
So now Crystal is going to be irrelevant until about 2.5 more hours. So you can just forget she exists, pretty much. Now we get to Fox.
And the memes.
Yeah. I really like Slippy's voice actor in this game. One they chose for him.
So how many inputs per second are in this pod?
Probably like 0.
Good old 0.
Yeah.
Dude, it's funny, like, if you ever, like, watch the TAS, like, replay, and then you look at the controller just going crazy on the inputs during cutscenes? Have you ever seen those? They're so funny.
Yeah, for this I didn't bother. One thing that's funny, I like how everything is, like, hyper-futuristic in this game, but then Fox is a laptop from 2005, or, like, 2002, I guess, when the game came out. Like, the year 30,000 XX or whatever.
But there's a jukebox there.
That's true. That's pretty retro, too, I guess. Just like they just wanted to have a jukebox from. I don't know. It just seems weird because like I would never be like, oh, I really want a laptop from 2005 and like 100 years from now. Whereas like I guess you might want a jukebox. I don't know. So anyway, you get your basic mission here. Dinosaur Planet is messed up. You need to go to the planet and figure it out. We skip a lot of the cutscenes that tell you what's actually going on, like the story-wise. So I'll just briefly summarize what we skip. General Scale stole all the planet's spellstones, there's 4 of them, and now the planet has all of its energy is tearing it apart. So your job is to find the 4 spellstones and place them. They tell you need 4 spellstones, but fun fact, the task proves that you don't because it only gets 2 of them. So yeah, it's not actually programmed to check for all 4 of them.
So the world record for this RTA is pretty much 3:30. The gap between me and Celestial was like 5 seconds. It's pretty funny. But obviously it's not very optimized still for both of us. But like, this is gonna be a lot faster. You'll see. It skips a lot of things we do RTA, so it's gonna save a lot of time. I'm not gonna spoil anything though.
Yeah. I hope you guys like watching this flight to Thorntail Hollow section because this happens 7 total times in the
What
TAS.
we trying to do here?
I don't know.
Score
Each time I had a
challenge?
different. Each time I had a different goal. I think in this one, my goal was to only shoot enemies and not asteroids and collect all gold rings. I'm not sure why. Like, I tried to find a unique goal each time because how many times can you task the same section over and over again? I don't know. Well, later on, you'll get to see the cool optimized version where I shoot like 1,000,000 shots and kill every enemy. This one's just like the vanilla version.
Wait, does killing enemies cause a frame of lag?
No, not to my knowledge. It only causes. It only slows you down if you take damage, which I never do in outer space.
Yeah, so you lose 1 frame every time you get hit, right?
Yeah, it's like 3 to 4, I think, maybe.
Oh, it's actually more than I thought. It was 1 frame.
I think it depends on if you're holding boost or not. The fastest way to move in the flight is you hold boost like once every 4 seconds. You can hold boost to go faster, and so you lose more time if you hit something while in boost mode. Yeah, so initial section of the game, I guess the sort of route we're doing is you pick up Crystal Staff, which conveniently got knocked down to Thorntail Hollow here. You kill the Sharp Claws with it, and then you get your first spell, the Fire Blaster, which gets used kind of everywhere in this test. And then you can use that to get to the Queen Earthwalker, and she moves some guy out of your dinosaur out of your way that's blocking your path.
The main thing you'll notice about the combat in the TAS is the combat's going to be much, much faster than RTA. Due to the fact that enemies can block you randomly, and that loses so much time RTA. And if they never were to block you ever, you could just do the best combo every time, of course. But that doesn't happen RTA. And then of course you have perfect aim.
Yeah. The very first fight is going to be the slowest because it's the only one we don't have the Fire Blaster for. Every Sharp Claw fight after this, we have the Fire Blaster, and so you can just like shoot them insanely fast to kill them in a TAS.
So every enemy in this game has a hitbox on the head. You can just hit no matter what.
Yeah,
so if you hit the head at any distance, it will always hit. They can never block it. So the TAS is going to be taking advantage of the headshots a lot.
Yeah, and for the regular size Sharp Claws, their tails also, it always hits them too because there's no armor there. For the giant Sharp Claws, which are enemies with a huge tail, for some reason they always block the tail also, so only the head is, always hits. Otherwise they block everything. But yeah, for here, unfortunately, we can't do that yet, since we don't get the Fire Blaster until right after this, so this is the one part of the game you'll get to see what normal combat looks like.
There's still something really funny coming up, though. I watched the first part.
This is what
I've actually never seen it done. It was my first time seeing it. I was like, oh, it looks hilarious.
I think Celestial said he got it like once or twice to happen, but it's not. It's frame perfect, so it's not like.
You'll see it. You'll see it. Like.
Yeah. We'll keep it a surprise.
Yeah. I don't want to be like, oh, this thing's coming up. This is what happens, and it's like, and you see, and you're like, oh, cool. Like it's more like, oh wait, what? It's more fun to watch something like raw. Never see it before.
The only hint I'll give is in this game, you might have noticed already. Whenever you pick up a new item, Fox does like a dramatic thing where he holds it over his head, kind of like in Zelda. Like you got an item thing. You already saw Crystal do that with the golden key earlier when she got it.
Alright, here we go. Perfect fights incoming. You'll never see this RTA.
Yeah. If you do, it'll be extremely lucky, that's for sure. And
watch the difference.
Probably done by accident, if I had to guess.
So that does the most damage, that slide kick.
Yeah, the slide roll, like 2 slide rolls will kill them.
So he hit an extra time there. Spawned the magic as well.
Yeah, for some reason, if you don't do that neutral roll, it'll never drop magic. I don't know why. Okay, so we grab the magic.
Wait, what's going on here? Why is it 2 text boxes?
Is it a desync?
Wait, what's he doing?
Oh no! Oh,
what's he doing? Why is he doing that? What's he looking around for?
He's just holding the mana gem up above his head. He's just really proud of it, I guess. Yeah. So the text overlaps there. So I overlap the cutscenes because it saves time. Because then you don't have to sit through the mana gem cutscene. Saves like 5 seconds maybe.
Yeah. So when you go and he picks up the magic gem for the first time, which is the first time you get in the game, in this cave you're probably going to get it for the first time, and you just skip that completely.
Yeah. So yeah, now Fox can just grab the red mana gem in this cave, and we won't have to do that. But yeah, I could have just pressed A right away, and you wouldn't have done that whole thing, because he would have gone back to normal as soon as that cutscene ended, but I liked the meme, so I kept it.
Dude, I love how you waste time here before you can pause.
Oh yeah,
you're doing this one.
Yeah, you can't pause for like 2 seconds after you get the fire blaster. So, oh, sorry, not here. Yeah, there's a couple parts.
You'll see it.
We'll
You'll laugh when you see it. I just saw like some. I just like skimmed a little bit of this, like an hour of it, just to see what he was doing. Some of the things made me laugh.
Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely get to that. So you probably couldn't read the text there because it was going by. It was only on screen 1 frame a second for each line, but we got the fire blaster there, so we have that now. Even though you might not have been able to see it, so now we can shoot things from a
This
distance.
will never
which
happen
would
in
be a
RTA. What he's doing here.
Yeah, so I moved the camera to do some RNG manipulation, and now I'm going to get all 3 of these at the same time. Because the You Got an Item cutscene normally makes it so you only get 1. The other 3, like, don't interact with you unless they land right on top of you. But all 3 of them did land right on top of me, so I got all 3 of them before they could despawn.
People get 2 sometimes by complete luck, but 3 is like ridiculous.
Yeah, it's usually like impossible because as soon as they touch the water, they despawn. So normally the You Had an Item cutscene prevents you from getting more than 1 there.
Yeah. To like explain it simply, when you shoot that bomb flower, all 3 of those bomb flowers have a different RNG where they go. They can go anywhere, and you had to manipulate the RNG using the camera and whatnot just so they all fly into the same place at the same time. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I think Celestial said he's seen it once. He's been running this game for like 6 years or something.
I've only got a double.
Yeah, doubles are a little more common. But yeah, pretty brutal. So yeah, Fox gets a new quest here. Go to Ice Mountain and find her son.
The worst part is RTA that saves like 8 to 10 seconds alone. Could you skip having to blow up an extra bomb flower? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. This TAS, it ends up getting 7 bomb flowers total, so I guess it doesn't really help that much. But it used to be in the original route, it was only 6, and then it was a big deal. But more glitches got found while I was working on this, actually.
I think that's the same as RTA. It's 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you need the 1 extra.
Yeah, to get to Moon Mountain Pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so while he was making this task, a bunch of stuff was found. This is like a really small time saver at the beginning we didn't mention, where you can skip grabbing the health pickup to skip the animation, but that's, again, it came late. He was making the task a long time ago. And then on top of that... You
can skip only one of them. Like, there were 2 times Crystal did the You Got an Item animation, because there's like, I don't know what they're called, like Puck Puck eggs and, I don't know, something else. You can skip one of those, but not both of them. At the time, it wasn't known you could skip either of them, because it was thought that they're too close together.
Did you grab both of these?
Yeah, I grab all 3 of the fuel cells here. Well, not at the same time, but...
Was that a frame-perfect shield turnaround roll? It looks so fast.
I mean, I would guess so, I think. This is kind of like a farming section, because we want to get the fuel cells here, because you need them to fly to the new areas, and we also need to open the gate to Cape Claw, so while we're already here, we just turn the switch to open it.
It's exactly the same as what RTA does right now. Like, I timed the routes myself, and this was the fastest.
Yeah. But yeah, the fuel cells, the requirements for it, the very first time you fly to a new area, in order to be allowed to fly there, the requirements are you need 5 to go to the first area, Dark Ice Mines, 10 to go to Cloud Runner Fortress, 12 for Wall City, and 15 for Dragon Rock, so we need 42 total. The TAS is actually kind of tight on fuel cells because we skip so much of the game that there's not that many fuel cells left to collect, so we don't get many choices on what we can skip.
Is that roll angle hard?
It's hard to do it fast. It's not hard to do it at all, I'd put it that way. Ooh, this is my favorite cutscene / character in the game, the Shopkeeper. Also known as the Shabunga in the game code for some reason. Whatever that means.
When I watched this task, I already saw things like, I can just try RTA.
Yeah.
That was one of them. I'm like, wait, it looks faster. Why are we not doing this?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that you could do once, or you could do, like, if you slow down a lot, but there's a lot of things where it's hard to do them fast enough and consistent enough to save time, I'd say.
Yeah. Sadly, we only get to see this guy once.
Yeah, and we don't get to hear his "you don't have enough scarabs" line.
Is it possible to buy the first item for 9? I always forget.
Probably. I think it's slower, though, because you have to, move the price down to haggle.
Yeah, it's slower, of course. I just forget if he lets you get a discount on the stone.
Yeah, no, if you want. Cool thing in this game, you can haggle for prices like in an old-time shop.
He only lets you go down by 1.
Yeah, it varies per item, but yeah, in this case, yeah. So we got the rock candy here, which we need to give to the warp stone, because then he warps us to Ice Mountain after we do that for him.
There it is.
Oh, you're going to see the good part. Watch this.
The spin.
We have to wait a second before we can pause to save out, so we just spin in a circle. Yeah.
The spin.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to apologize in advance for the next 5 minutes of all your lives here. But yeah, this is happening now.
They're probably used to it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, TAS sadly can't get around this.
I mean, you could.
So
You could just do
the
a
second
single
final
file
here-
run.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could, but then it'd be like another hour.
We got 5 minutes, Chaos. If you guys have any questions during this, feel free. Like, this is the intro again.
Yeah, basically, the only reason why we have to watch this intro again is just because the devs didn't want to add a copy file function like most Zelda games have. So now we have to create our own second file and get up to a point where we can save and quit. And the first part where we can pause and save and quit is when Crystal reaches Grizzle Palace, which means we have to play up to that point now.
Yeah. So if anyone's confused, we're making 2 files because this is a category that's multiple files. And also, we're going to be using 2 files for a trick later. We'll explain when we get to it. But we need 2 files to save like 30 minutes. It saves a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's all based on being able to have 2 different files. So, like I said, since there's no copy file function, we're unfortunately forced into this. You also can't die before Grizzle Palace, and being able to die on a file is actually needed for the trick. Or, well, dying or voiding out, because voiding out is considered the same as dying in this game when it comes to where it respawns you and the code that runs. Like, there's certain parts in the game where you fall off a ledge and like the screen cuts to black.
This is indeed a task, which means all the inputs are pre-recorded, and it's inputting.
Yeah, I'm
itself.
not doing anything right now.
Yeah, my hands are on my arms pretty much. I'm just chilling. I've even taken breaks and eaten some hummus while watching it.
Exactly. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this fight the first time, because I get to see it the second time. It's not going to be any different, but...
So when you test this, can you just like reuse your inputs from the previous section, or do you have to do it again?
I tried. This game doesn't really like you copying inputs. Like, some games are more friendly when it comes to if you can copy inputs from earlier sections. This game, not so much. I think the only part where I was able to copy inputs might have been like one of the flights to Thorntail Hollow. Like, I copied for the very first half of the flight, but then there's certain enemies in the flight that are RNG based, and those ruin things because then they just hit you randomly. So even then it doesn't fully work. Basically nothing's copied. Like, even if I reused inputs, I usually reuse them with modifications. Like, I'd be like altering like by like a few degrees which way I hold the control stick to make it match up whatever changes happened.
I'm trying to think where I should make a save state. Should I make a save state after Flame?
Yeah, I guess. Or you could do it after the crystal section finishes, like once it goes back
I think
to the
it's
box.
because like after this, it's because also in Dark Eyes Minds you do the save file stuff, so maybe it's not a good idea. We need the save file to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I might make a few save states here and there just in case it desyncs, and I can just reload the save state. Should be okay a second time, hopefully.
Yeah,
Ideal scenario, we don't get any desyncs. That'd be great.
Yeah. I have to say, it was really painful testing this crystal section because I was so used to using shield hovers, and you don't have the staff here, so you can't do them, and it's just sad. Oh, also I should mention, I'm playing this in English. Technically Japanese is like 1 second faster, but then you couldn't understand what they're saying during the parts where they're speaking in gibberish tongues,
It's not
like
fun.
here.
It's not fun, man.
Yeah, it's not. There's also 2 versions of the game besides that, like version 1.0 and version 1.1. This is version 1.0. There's only 2 real differences. One is that you can clip out of bounds in Ice Mountain on version 1.0, which this task will actually do. And also in Dragon Rock, you have to wait an extra 15 seconds for an auto-scroller to end before the cutscene of it ending starts. So, yeah.
I think he mentioned about the clipping for offense in Ice Mountain is actually using the any percent run of this game. And it's pretty much what allows the whole game to be broken, ironically. And in the patch notes for the game, in the code for the game, it says fix the fence. It's really funny.
Yeah, they released the whole second version literally just for that one glitch. They didn't check any other glitch or try to fix anything besides that. That was their only thing they found in QA testing.
To be fair, they found the most important thing in the game to fix. It breaks the game.
Yeah, that's true, but they had no idea. Or I guess you can still do void traveling just from Dark Ice Mines, so they didn't fully fix it.
True. A task could definitely do it, maybe not RTA.
Yeah. So once we get to Grizzle Palace, I hope you guys enjoy the beautiful voice acting here.
I know half of this stuff by heart. It's pretty sad.
Yeah. Like where it goes, Kiaka Dekalu. He says that line twice, but there's 2 different
way. You got Chaco.
Yeah. No, it says the same. He says the same phrase, and one time it says like nobody can defeat General Scales, and one time it says this isn't over. So it makes no sense, but whatever. They messed up. Anyway. Yes, Assault is the sequel. because you crystals in assault to answer somebody in chat's question.
It's time for some gameplay.
Oh yeah, good. So now we can save and quit. If you tried to pause the game before that point, you only have the option to quit, not to save. So that's why we had to go that far in. So sorry about that, but now Crystal is really almost done. You'll see her for like 1 more second when we just load her file, only to die, and then you don't see it literally ever again. Until the end of the game anyway. So yeah, here I'm just doing a little farming. There's 4 fuel cells back here, and that's a lot. So it's worth it to go through this cave to get them.
So look how fast the movement is in comparison to RTA. It's like slightly faster, but the turns are tight. He's shield rolling everywhere. Like this is not RTA possible. Like it could be, but you're probably gonna end up losing time on it more than saving time.
Yeah, trying to do shield hovers RTA. I mean, not shield hovers. Shield rolls RTA can be kind of brutal.
Is it actually faster to roll around like that?
There's only one person, I think, who's been able to ever do it to save time, and I'm not even sure if they've ever actually, like, I don't know if they have any runs submitted for the game, so. This is actually my other favorite cutscene of the game.
It must be, like, so bad for your hands doing that for, like, an hour straight.
Yeah, probably. I certainly wouldn't recommend it.
Well, can you help us?
Also, this game has like enough possible like optimizations left in its current records that there's like not any real point to doing that. It's like not at the level yet where that needs to happen. You know. But yeah, this is a Rock Shrek. And this somebody in chat said. For some reason, he speaks English, even though nobody else in the game does. Like, Fox needs a translator for everybody else. Not sure why that is. Oh, also, he says we'll get back to this in a minute, but it's been 20 years and he never actually got back to that, you'll notice. So, yeah. They just forgot about that. Because that line was probably recorded, like, 4 years before the game was released. They started development of this game in like 1998 and finished in 2002, and it was supposed to originally be an N64 game, so yeah, it was kind of in development hell for a while.
Press B. The way he says it.
So desperate to get back to sleep. But yeah, we can warp to Ice Mountain now, fortunately.
Alright, so here you're gonna notice something we don't do in RTA runs, but we do in any percent. And the reason because, like, this does save time in this category, but you have to do it so fast and so perfectly to the point where it saves such minimal time that we don't do it. So you're going to see the thing we do in 80% with the fence clip and all that, but you have to, like, get the angle right away, roll into the cave, unrealistically fast. It's not going to happen. And all it lets you do is skip save and quitting to get the fuel cells in the cave. That's all it does in this category. It doesn't really do anything else. So
well, actually, it does one more thing. We'll get to that in a minute.
It's small though, right? Like it's not a big time save. So it's like not even worth doing RTA still. But if it's something I've missed out, then yeah, I'll probably notice it as well anyway. Like I said, I just skimmed through this. I didn't pay too much attention.
Oh, something really cool is coming up before we do the like Ice Mountain clip. You're gonna see how we kill the sharp claws in a second.
Oh,
in order to open this gate, you have to kill the 2 sharp claws and then shoot the switch that appears. Normally, you're supposed to blow up the like wall blocking them with a barrel, and then you go up and kill them with your staff by hand. You can actually shoot through the barrels that are here on the wall. So check this out. This is definitely not RTA.
That was his tail, right?
Yeah, one of them is the face, one is the tail. We also get to manage them while that cutscene is playing.
Yeah, so there's like gaps between those boxes. You can actually do that RTA, but the thing is the RNG where they are. So it's really unlikely that you'll get the position where they want to be. Also, that's RTA possible. We do that in 90%, what you just did. That's 1.0 only.
The cannon knocks the barrel out of our hands, then it falls to the ground, and the explosion pushes us through the wall because it has bad collision, and it only goes like an inch off the ground.
There's like a pixel of collision there for some reason out of bounds you can land on that lets you do this. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. So here we get the camera to go out of bounds. That's why it lag spiked for a second. What that means is that the next time we load a new area, it's going to glitch load, which means a lot of things will load as rainbow boxes and don't appear correctly or don't have collision. You'll see what that looks like after this once we finish the race and get tricky.
So one thing you might notice is different is to any percent here is he actually didn't go far out of the cave and come back, and he doesn't need to reload the bike. In any percent we have to reload the bike because we need it for bike dismount glitch, which we'll explain later. Oh, we don't see a tool in this run, do we, actually?
No, because we don't do bike
Yeah,
skipping.
so there's a trick where you can, like, pick up an item on the bike, or you can feed Tricky on the bike and get off the bike. And you can do lots of various things with that, but here we don't need to reload the bike at all, so we're not going to be doing it. We just get on the bike right away and do the normal stuff. It's very different to 80% in this section.
Yeah. So here, if you're playing this casually, a lot of people try to kill the sharp claws. But that's kind of slow because you lose all your momentum when you hit them. So we just try to avoid them and just go as fast as we can.
That's what I did in my first playthrough, and I kept losing over and over.
Yeah, that's the trick. Best move is just ignore them.
And someone in chat was like, just win the race. I'm like, it's a race?
Yeah. Yeah, later on in the game, we'll have a part where you get to kill an enemy on a bike, but yeah, we'll get to that. For now, just want to go fast.
So the rules of the bike, is it bad to go like on upward slope? Because there you avoided the slope when you go around that corner. Does it slow you down?
I think I just tried to do each turn as quickly as possible. Like, I tried to cut everything as close as I could, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll see in a second, everything's going to get all messed up, like the graphics-wise, in a second. Once Fox goes over the edge and loads the next area, because of that glitch we did earlier.
Yeah,
so this green fog or whatever shouldn't be here. That's not
it's Windows,
normal. And the rainbow boxes definitely shouldn't be here.
It's Windows XP.
Oh yeah. Real pioneers.
Windows XP land, we've arrived.
So yeah, because the camera got out of bounds, now a lot of objects didn't load, one of which is a gate that you normally need to use the stay command to open, so we can skip using Tricky's dig and stay command to hold on to a switch for us, which saves a little bit of time. Unfortunately, though, it also means the platforms we use to get across the lava don't load, so we have to die and save and continue, or sorry, die and just continue in order to reload the area to fix it.
Yeah, so I noticed you had to die here to fix it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have to save after we die because we hit a save checkpoint immediately before dying. This game is kind of weird how it works in that basically if you die and then don't save and then you continue, you just respawn with whatever state you were in at the last time you hit a save checkpoint, whenever that was.
You can actually lose progress from not saving.
Yeah, so like if you placed an item or something or did something but didn't hit a save checkpoint and then don't save, it like disappears. But if you save, then it stays with you. Or alternatively, if you hit a save checkpoint right before you die, then it keeps your progress without you needing to save. So that's going to be what.
If anyone's wondering what just happened, he hit a mushroom. He couldn't even.
Yeah,
see
they're
it.
invisible because they're glitch loaded. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the gate's not loaded. I know about this actually. I know about this. That's what it also does. That's right. But even then, it still doesn't save enough time to justify doing. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, it does give you the 2 fuel cells also, but
I could time it. I don't think it's worth it though. It's
so we fall in the lava
sidetracking.
here and die, and then we'll respawn at the area fix now.
Yeah. Yeah, so the thing he did to go in that cave early, where he clipped in the cave and went for the fence, that was, again, so that he could get the fuel cells without saving quitting, because normally you have to save the game to get those fuel cells. And then also it unloads that gate, so you can just skip the Tricky digging, skip the telling Tricky to go on the switch. Which is known about for a while. I think, didn't Zach find that? Could be wrong.
Yeah, well, he found it like a couple months before I did that section. It was a while ago because it was like at the beginning of the task, kind of.
Oh, I love this part. This part's great.
Oh yeah, yeah. So here, in order to get Tricky basically won't dig or do anything you tell him to until you kill the 3 sharp claws that are up ahead. So we try to kill them really quickly to get him to come back to us. So yeah.
They're just dead in like 2 seconds. No big deal.
Yeah, all of them dead. 4 headshots to each one, 8 total in a row.
So funny.
Yeah. So Tricky's heal command just lets you call him to be closer. TAS uses that a lot, like, I don't even know how many times.
It just looks so funny. It's like he's doing the Michael Jackson lean when you're doing it.
When he does the spinning, yeah.
It's like he's leaning forwards.
Yeah, this section has a lot of spinning and waiting around, like especially when Tricky's digging for the alpine roots, which are the things he just pulled out of the ground. Yeah, I'll get one more here.
That was so clean.
If we were able to get all the grub tubs we needed and then make it back in time before we finished digging,
What
that
I like
was
about
nice.
watching this, a lot of things are like so similar to RTA, like the routing, the things you pick up. Like even like, it's just nice to see that things match up to RTA in terms of like strategies. Just the movement's obviously a lot better on the TAS.
Yeah. So here we get our first mana upgrade. This makes our mana bar larger so it can hold more gems. At the end of the game, to do the Ice Blaster skip thing that as he was talking about earlier, we actually need to upgrade our mana bar 2 times, or we simply won't have enough mana to do the trick.
Yeah, because you could do the whole run without picking up an upgrade. It's just the Ice Blast skip requires a lot, because we have to use a lot of Earthquakes.
And also, I think Dark or somebody else timed it, and they said that getting 2 mana upgrades saves enough time that even if it weren't for Ice Blaster skip, it's still worth it. Because like it saves you so much effort in terms of like picking up mana gems.
Yeah.
Especially in Cloud Under Fortress, where you're just constantly using mana, and there's not many places to get refills.
Also, like so on the way to Freeze Blast, there's a ton of like things you have to kill. So
yeah. So here, yeah, we get a Scarab Egg here. We don't actually use any more Scarabs in this task, so we don't need it. It's just that we have to feed him 2 times total, because the second time he makes the block drop.
This is gonna look very different to RTA if you've never seen the task.
Oh yeah.
This whole section, including the bit after, is completely it's weird. Like when I watched this the first time, I was like, "What are you doing?" It's really fun. I like this section. All right, get ready.
It's definitely an experience. That's for sure.
Here we go. The hover.
So if you alternate shield and roll, you can maintain your height over ground when you're close to ground. Using that, we get out of bounds there. So now we're out of bounds.
Yeah, just chilling. I don't understand. Like when I do the hover, I feel like I have to delay the presses between the roll and shield, but in the touch, it's like. Bzzz.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I timed it to be as close as I could without falling down.
I think you need to roll for 2 or 3 frames, then shield for 2 to do it perfectly, something like that. I tested on TAS as well, out of interest.
Yeah, so doing all of that, what we just did, there's normally a gate with a key blocking where this guy is, Grundete. You normally are supposed to go all the way back to Thorntail Hollow, do a quest where you get grub tubs to rescue the queen in the bottom of the well, and then you feed them to her, watch a really long cutscene, get a key, go back here, use the key to open the gate, and then go here. And then he unlocks Dark Ice Mines, the game's first level, when you do that. But you can just skip all of that by going directly into this area from out of bounds.
Yeah, this trick was considered TAS only for a long time, but it saves 3 minutes RTA if you do it.
Yeah, because he was the first person to do it in RTA speedruns, so now it's just like the thing you have to do to get world record.
Do you actually collect this fuel cell, or you're just messing around?
Which fuel cell?
The one with the tree?
The ones after the tree? Yeah.
Oh, this cutscene lags. This is one of the lagging things. Yeah, this cutscene slows down.
Yeah, so I stopped the tree right as the cutscene, him breaking free was starting, so the cutscenes overlap. That cutscene's like 6 seconds, so it saves a little time.
The audio's gonna go weird here. This cutscene lags for some reason, Emily. I can't do anything about it.
I think also like the Gatekeeper Vortex things he makes also cause a lot of lag.
I don't know why. I can't fix this.
Yeah. Well, it'll just make the cutscene last longer. You get to enjoy it longer.
It's a lot better than what it was. It was 40 FPS before I fixed the compiler, so now it's running at 55, which is great. Yeah. So sadly, not all parts of this game can emulate true 60 FPS. I've tried so many things. It's so picky. It's a lot better though.
Yeah.
So I got a question. Why, when you did the cutscene overlap, how comes you had audio for the cutscene? Because normally when I do it, you can't hear any audio.
You can do it on a different frame, and for some reason it doesn't cause the glitch.
You didn't want to do the audio glitch in the TAS?
Yeah, originally I think it did have that, but I wanted you to hear Grundete's voice, so I redid it, so you can thank me.
Yeah. No, I used to do it on purpose in runs, and I used to like voice over it on myself.
Yeah.
It was fun. God, the audio is so scuffed on Emily here. It should fix itself. Back to 60. Let's go. Nice.
Yeah, this should end in a second.
That's fine.
Alright, there we go.
I think you're like 2 seconds behind.
Before we go back to... We want to go back to Thorntail Hollow to go to Dark Ice Mines now, but we want to get some more fuel cells before we do that. So that's what we're going to do now.
I thought these fuel cells were slow. I'm surprised you're getting them.
Oh yeah, they are slow. It's just the task is like almost no leeway. We skip like 2 fuel cells out of all the ones we see. So there's not a lot of options left besides getting this. So yeah, we get that one. Then we shoot a switch here, and that switch makes a third fuel cell appear up on the ledge. Otherwise, there's only be 2 up there.
So is it faster to aim than flick rather than sort out the angle before aiming?
I think in that case, it was like most of the time save you had to aim up, in which case you can't like fix that by angling ahead of time.
That makes
sense.
At least so you do both at the same time.
Yeah, just in that one spot. A lot of times it is better to angle first. The
rolling was so clean.
So yeah, luckily there's a convenient ice float we can jump down to there.
That's actually there at the same time, RTA, actually.
Nice.
This is cool. This is really cool.
Oh yeah, this gate has horrible collision. If you're literally 1 pixel off the ground, you can get through it. So we're just gonna shield hover right past it, get the fuel cells, and save and quit back out.
So would that save time RTA?
If you're really fast, maybe. But you can't like slow down at all.
There's a save trigger at the gate, so you can always just reload at the gate.
Yeah. So that takes us back to our last save point. Now you're going to see an absurd trick, which is definitely TAS.
This is... So I've never seen this until I watched it. Get ready.
Yeah. This is Bribe Claw skip. Normally you have to pay the Bribe Claw 15 scarabs. We were very cheap and don't want to do that. So we're going to take the long way around out of bounds.
Doesn't it skip mission accomplished?
Yeah, that's the main thing it does.
Yeah,
it skips the mission accomplished cutscene, and it skips Tricky running back to his mom and like a long cutscene. It saves about 20 seconds total because there's a lot of setup time, as you can see, like all the crazy stuff we're doing. So what we did just there, we hit the water while half out of bounds, and you actually don't surface in this game until your feet touch the ground. So now we can just swim in midair. That's called air swimming, and it's a very important trick. It's going to be used a lot more in the future.
This game's kind of like Mario 64. They leave water out of bounds in certain areas. Not below, but on the side of things. They don't really like end the water plane. So convenient, you can just kind of like land in that water on the side or below things.
So now we're going to the tunnel above where the Bribe Claw leads to, and we can just fall directly down so that we're half in the wall here.
So here you gotta press Z to reload a room, or load the next room. But what he's doing is he's also hitting... Yeah, he's also hitting load triggers in the way. So in certain parts of this out of bounds area, or barely in bounds, you have to hit these triggers to load the next area. Otherwise, if you hit the next area out of bounds, the next area won't load if you don't hit these triggers. So he's gonna be hitting one here, right in the middle. That's why he's so close to it.
We just started a second air swim there. Yeah.
Between that, really? Oh, you mean when he fell in? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean right now we're doing an air swim because we're out of bounds still.
Yeah. You can just skim through that.
So, so when we get to the other side, we're going to cancel our air swim so we can start walking half out of bounds again.
Oh, that skipped a load. That was awesome. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That's cool. So here you're skipping a mission accomplished. As you can see, the gates here. You're not getting the mission accomplished from Tricky when you get back here. He's like...
Tricky normally does a cutscene here, but we go around the trigger now. And this is the one ladder we have to slide down, sadly.
It's when he goes, "That's my mom!" And then he runs away from you. So why that's huge is because when you go to Dark Ice Mines, if you don't have Tricky, you fall for the floor. Because the game kind of puts you in like outer space. It thinks you're out of space or something if you don't have Tricky. So like it tries to enter like an outer space kind of cutscene state and you just fall for the floor. It's really weird how it works. So because we skipped the "That's My Mom" cutscene, we have Tricky still, and we can just go right to Dark Ice Mines, and then you don't fall for the floor.
Yeah. And so we spent 5 of our fuel cells there, so we'll have 5 less when we go to Dark Ice Mines in order to unlock it.
Someone in chat asked, what is Void Travel? Void Travel is when you do a trick called Bike Dismount Glitch, or Dismount Glitch in general, you just do it on any animal. And during this state, you're allowed to... Well, the game lets you swim out of bounds without loading anything. And normally if you swim out of bounds in this game to another area, the game will just like soft lock you in place, like straight up, and you can't move and you can't quit, and it runs over. But if you dismount from a mammoth or a bike, you can swim anywhere in the game, and whatever room you load next is the room that's loaded.
Yeah, the way I'd put it is basically like there's real out of bounds in this game and fake out of bounds. Real out of bounds is areas that are outside of map cells, and they're areas that normally whenever you're in them, the game is just programmed to make it so Fox can't move at all, and that way you can't go too far out of bounds. Otherwise, you could air swim all over the map and go to like wherever you want.
So
then there's areas that are in. Then there's areas that you're not supposed to reach, like when we did a shield hover and Snowhorn Waste to get on the ledge. That's like kind of fake out of bounds. Like it's considered part of the map, so it's not really out of bounds. It's just not where you're supposed to be. It's like, so that area that you can get to. Void travel would be like going into a completely unloaded cell that's not even part of the map, any map.
Yeah. So like every map has like a box basically, and if you travel outside that box, the game will just freeze you in place.
Mm-hmm.
And void traveling lets you just get around that completely.
Yeah.
So that's why you saw him like hugging walls a lot when he was traveling around the sewers, for example, because he doesn't want to enter the void. So if he enters the area
Yeah, the
outside
void
the
is very
box,
close to the wall there.
yeah, you just soft lock and you can't do anything.
Yeah. So here we do our first trick called ESW, which stands for Event Storage Warp. We save and quit after hitting a certain trigger that's there called an ESW trigger. These are basically respawn triggers that you're supposed to respawn at after you die, but due to a developer oversight, you can die on any file.
You can
and
fall
respawn
there?
there.
What?
Oh yeah.
I've never seen
Oh well,
that.
it's very precise. You normally grab the edge, but there's a way.
Yeah,
So now we have 2 files in Dark Ice Mines.
Event storage warp works like this. So you hit a checkpoint trigger in the game, and then your game is like, okay, checkpoint is set to 01, Dark Ice Mines, for example, right? And you reload another file right away, and your checkpoint is still set to Dark Ice Mines. So whenever you die or void, it would send you to Dark Ice Mines, because your checkpoint is still set to Dark Ice Mines. So if you die, it copies everything from your current file to the other file. If you void, like you just did, so you fell into like a void plane, it will make a direct copy of the other file in your current file. So either you can copy your file onto another file, or you can make a copy of the other file onto your current file. Either way, that's what you can use it for. It's really broken, and you can also use it to get out of places you can't normally get out of. So it's extremely useful in this run.
Yeah, so the way dying and voiding are kind of treated as like the same action. The way it sort of works is that you have the when you hit the ESW trigger, it creates a copy of all your like high game flags, which are like temporary things, and also the location that you'll respawn at after you die. And then your low inventory flags, which are like things that are like what items you have and where you've flown to and things like that, are copied based on where your last save was. So when you do an ESW like that, if you last saved when you hit the ESW checkpoint and then your high flags are always at the ESW point. Then when you void out in the crystal file, you'll respawn with all of the high and low flags set to what they were on Fox's file. So we basically just made a full file copy. That's called reverse event storage warp. And so now we have 2 files in Dark Ice Mines, and we're just continuing on with one of them.
So we just made a direct like copy of the file, because we just want the location of Dark Ice Mines. That's all we're copying it for right now.
Yeah, because then we can set up more ESWs later on, because otherwise the other file will be stuck at Crystal, and it's kind of useless there. Yeah.
So I just want to point out this section is getting Flame, and we get Flame in a normal RTA run of 59 minutes, and like a really good run would be just barely sub 1 hour. So pay attention to what time this gets Flame to know the difference between the TAS and real time. There's no difference between the TAS and real time. What it's done so far, it's pretty much collected most of the same things. It's just done different movement, different tricks here and there. So the time difference is going to be big. Just to give you an idea of how much faster TAS is than RTA, you'll find out.
Yeah, we're also going to do a cool cutscene overlap here, which you'll see in a second, after we kill the shark claws that are attacking this guy.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you can feed Tricky as you enter the cutscene.
Is that worth doing RTA? Probably is.
You could. It just wouldn't save a lot of time in RTA. But yeah, that skips the cutscene of feeding Tricky, so it saves like 3 or 4 seconds doing that.
So this is 7 minutes faster than RTA right now. It's crazy. Ready.
So now that we have Flame, we're actually done with Dark Ice Mines. We're free to leave.
Yes.
We did everything.
So in a run here, we unlock the Mammoth, we do bike dismount glitch, and we go all the way into Dark Ice Mines. We get to the boss room, we kill Draco, right? We do some crazy stuff with the screens flickering like crazy. And then in this category, we just get Flame and get out of here. We don't need to get the Spellstone. We don't need anything here. We just leave. It's great.
Yeah, we can skip killing Galdin, getting Spellstone 1 and all that stuff here, because, like I said, the Ice Blaster skip we did, that skips the need for all of that. So now we're free to just leave.
Oh, it wasn't Draco, yeah, my bad.
Draco's later.
It's Dragon Rock. So I'm mixing up boss names.
It's all good. I have to say, as an aside, I really hate these bats. I think they're called, like, bloopers or something.
Is it fun, like, recording the tasks where you're, like, cutting the corners like a racing game? Perfectly cutting them?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It must be, like, more fun when you, like, play back the recording, like, oh, it looks sick when you watch it all in one go. But, like, when you're doing it, it's probably annoying as hell.
In real time, you're kind of just, like, going, like, frame by frame. It's nice seeing the finished product, though.
Yeah. So yeah, no bike dismount glitch in this run at all. No dismount glitch in general. It's not useful in the TAS. It will be in the any percent TAS though. There will be a new any percent sometime.
So once we get back to Thorntail Hollow, there's a couple of things we have to do. Normally, after you unlock Dark Ice Mines, normally the next thing you'd want to do is go to Cape Claw, so you can start working on getting Spellstone 2, but we have a few things we want to do first. We want to get the Rocket Boost upgrade, because you need that like everywhere in the game.
I think it's the one where you try to destroy as much as you can.
Yeah. And then we want to get the Prazoa Spirit 3, which we're going to use an Air Swim to reach. Normally you can't get it until very late in the game after placing Spellstone 2 and doing a lot of miscellaneous side quests, but we don't have to do any of those things, using Air Swims and ESW to get back out. So yeah, this flight section is a little better than the first one, I think.
Your game,
a little more.
You even use the bomb. Paul, look at that. Bomb gameplay.
Oh yeah, and it's only going to get better from here. I think final high score, I finished with 2145 points
you can't
at the
even
end of the
see
game.
it.
This one was only 1745
I couldn't even see it. It was only open for one frame.
Yeah, you get 200 points at the end if you got all 10 gold rings, so the final score is 200 points more than what you see at the end. Or I think I skipped one of the gold rings there, so it's less, but yeah. But yeah, so now we're gonna go get the Rocket Boost, which is in the bottom of the well, unrelated to OT's bottom of the well. Let's see. First, we want to hit a save trigger here in front of the shop because that'll make it faster to get back out.
I'm surprised you hit it there. You like barely skimmed it.
Yeah, pretty much hit the rightmost spot in it. And then we have Tricky dig into the well.
Also, you approach the well from the left, and if you approach the well from the left, it skips the loading trigger for the well as well, which is nice.
So there's a save trigger that you normally hit when you climb down the ladder, but if you just don't climb down the ladder, you won't hit it. So then you can save and quit and just leave the well completely and go right back to the shop, which is very convenient because climbing up ladders is really slow in this game. Oh, we also do a glitch there to skip grabbing the ledge. You're supposed to be forced to grab the edge, but yeah, we just don't want to bother.
Is that just like a really precise angle roll?
Pretty much. The way it works is that if you're really close to the edge of the ledge and then go over it, you won't trigger the edge grab. So if you roll like parallel to it back and forth, like slightly forwards and backwards, you'll get far enough along that you're past the ledge grab trigger, and then you can just go over the edge.
I've never seen that. That's cool. I was wondering how you did that, because I know you can't normally skip that tool.
Yeah, that was found by BBQR. He was also the one who made their first TAS of this game in 2016.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you found a lot of the cool stuff in this game.
That's like one of the things you can barely see it unless you explain it, because like it just happens so far. It looks like you're rolling one angle.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a couple more spots in the task that do it, so I'll be sure to point those out when we get to it. So once we get these fuel cells here, we just die and save, and then we'll reappear at the shop since we skipped that save trigger.
Is it not faster to break the box and then jet boost right away? Like clip inside the box a bit? I think it is.
Isn't that what we did, though?
No, you rolled into it after that, slashing it.
As opposed to what?
Slashing inside the box, and you can jet boost like right away. Cancel your animation.
I'm not sure what that looks like, but I guess I didn't know about whatever that was.
Yeah, small things.
Rip, time to redo the task.
It's not perfect! Ruined!
Rip. Spoiled it!
It's all good.
So here we're going to get our second mana upgrade since we're already right here anyway.
Is it actually faster to spin rather than flicking and then quickly turning?
Do you mean like putting the staff away and putting it back out?
Like I hit 2, then I turn around and hit 2 again. Like
I think I timed it and it was faster, but I did this section like 8 months ago, so I honestly don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Small things.
Yeah.
Get magic? Nope. Just leave.
Yeah, just wanted to refill not refill, just make our bar bigger. So now we're going to go get the third Prazoa Spirit. This is as good a time as any to get it. We need to do an air swim to reach it because there's like a door blocking it, and we can't get past that unless we do a lot of other stuff originally.
I'm surprised you don't get the waterfall cells though. You're like right there.
Well, I figure it's about as much effort as getting them earlier. Oh, do you mean the ones that you have to blow up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
I'm surprised. Dude, it's so crazy how fast the air swim setup is. Like bang bang done.
Yeah, the way that works, the water trigger there extends a little bit over the land, so if you manage to stay in the water just a little bit long enough, the game will register you as swimming, and then you won't touch any land, so now you're in an air swim. And we can cancel it here to keep walking along the edge.
I know about that movement, but it's ridiculous. RTA. Is this
Yeah,
the thing I
normally RPA
found?
would go over here. What?
No, it's the old strat.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No.
Fuzzy discovered a way to do this last part faster by waiting to fall in the water and walking around the edge, but he hadn't
Yeah.
started speedrunning the game until like 5 months
Yeah.
after this.
So like in this game,
Wasn't
swimming
there.
is pretty slow. Generally, you want to try avoid swimming if you can. Like for any if there's any time you can walk during a trick, that's great. But there's like 2 seconds of walking you can save here. It's like so minimal.
Yeah. But luckily, you'll see it at the very end of the task, so we'll get there.
Oh, you do add it later, nice. That's
Yeah,
fine.
but only at the very end. You're gonna have to wait like another hour and a half to see it.
Not optimal.
Oh,
Just take off 2 seconds off the end time, whatever. No one's gonna know.
luckily, these boxes are at the perfect height to cancel our air swim. Otherwise, this trick wouldn't really work.
You don't hover onto the pad?
I don't think it's possible. You're too far away.
Really?
Even if you did, I don't think it would save much time. You'd have to be shield hovering for like 10 seconds, and it's a lot slower than walking.
Okay, Zach was like telling me like to shield hover at 90% at the end of the run. Onto the
Oh,
slope.
no, at any percent it works, but that's an ice mountain where you do that.
Oh, okay. So he's not.
There's like a
trolling.
lot more of a steep slope next to that warp pad. This one, it's like barely off the ground. I'm not even sure if you could make it. Yeah.
Okay, here
So
we go.
because we have to ESW to get out of here after we get the third Brizoa Spirit, we want to die after this because that's how you do an ESW. So we want to have 1/4 heart of health at the very end of it. So I take damage on the bats there on purpose, and also force them into the flames because I hate the bats in this game.
Yeah, they're the most
Anyone who's played
annoying
this game
enemy.
casually hates them. Fuzzy, do you hate the bats?
Of course I do. They're like, ha ha ha, when they're flying on you and they drive you insane. And you
Yeah.
just can't kill them. They're impossible to hit. They're so stupid.
Yeah, the devs had a laugh when they programmed that into the game. That's for sure.
Like, how can we make the guys playing this game as angry as possible?
Yeah. So Jose's asking, are the inputs on this test always the same? The answer is yes, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Fuzzy probably know for sure since he actually runs.
It's always the same every time.
Yeah.
There's one part
Yeah.
where... Oh, you're trolling?
Yeah, I'm trolling here.
I like
So
this.
watch this. This input, normally you move the red cursor with the control stick, and it also moves in response to the things that make Fox afraid. But here, I move it as far to the left and then as far to the right as possible before it would go off and make us lose, just to show off that
Is
it's
this meant
task.
to be PTSD simulator? You're
Yeah,
just like
it's like
trolling? Dude, you're like just
Yeah.
barely touching it.
It's like like the pendulum on a clock swinging. So yeah, if I were to wait one more frame before holding back the other direction, I would go out and then it would lose. I'd have to repeat all this.
This is so good.
Hopefully it doesn't desync here. It's gonna look really foolish.
I mean, we
It
haven't
looks like I
desync
just
for an hour
randomly
yet,
killed
so it's
things.
all good.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty monk-ass though towards the end. I'm seeing how close it gets, especially here. Yeah, I think we're probably good though.
No, I think we're fine. It's been pretty good so far today.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been reliable. Oh, do you like lose on the frame? No, you don't. What happens if you lose
No,
on the
I-
same frame?
yeah. No, I kind of trolled there. You can like let it go to the very end for like 3 frames before the test ends, and it won't count as losing. So yeah,
Every
just,
person watching this hates you right now. You
Who
just
does?
troll everyone. You're just trolling everyone.
yeah, pretty much. I figured it's the only way I can make this interesting because it's like kind of an auto scroller.
Alright, so here's the first instance of being soft locked. So right now, Fox has got a Krazoa Spirit, but because we swam inside this area while everything was unloaded, we're stuck inside.
Yeah, the door out is still blocking us because we never opened it.
Yeah, but luckily, due to advanced storage warping, we can get out of here really easily.
Mm-hmm. So first we're going to load the file in Dark Ice Mines, hit the ESW trigger, and then quit. Then we go back to this file, die, and save and continue. What that does is when you save after dying with an ESW, it copies your inventory from wherever you just saved, and it tells you to respawn wherever you last did an ESW trigger. So in this case, we're going to respawn in Dark Ice Mines right there, but with Krazoa Spirit 3 in our inventory. So that's how we escape out of this situation.
But also the game's in a weird state because the game thinks you don't have Tricky at the start.
Mhm.
So you're gonna see Fox fall for the floor. But luckily we can like hit a trigger while it's going on to fix that.
Yeah, and then once the game reloads us, it reloads us right back there with Tricky, so it fixes things.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Wait, this is slower. People leave. The box, man.
Yeah, the box method wasn't known about back then. It's pretty precise. You can like fall off the box at a very like slight angle in a precise way and then die, like take damage, but it wasn't known at the time,
What's
so I
like
climbed
some-
up the ladder.
We'll take 7 seconds off the TAS.
Yeah. So we saved there. That means we copied our inventory because we saved after we died. So now you can see we're in Dark Ice Mines, and Preserve Spirit 3 is up at the top of the screen. And Fox has purple eyes.
Also, Tricky's like broken. He's like frozen when he loads. It's really
Yeah,
weird.
we'll just ignore it for now.
Yeah, so right now the game's in a really weird state where it's like glitched out.
Yeah, basically the game is always checking, like, when it's deciding if it should play a cutscene when you go to a new area, it's just saying, like, alright, where did you come from? Where were you last? And there's basically one main flag that says, did you come from Thorntail Hollow, like that main map, or did you come from somewhere else, like Dark Ice Mines or Dragon Rock? So the flag is currently set that we came from Thorntail Hollow, we didn't come from Dark Ice Mines, and we're flying to Thorntail Hollow. So the game thinks it shouldn't play the landing cutscene when we land, and it's going to skip the landing cutscene, and also skip loading a lot of stuff once we land, and we need to fix it. Oh, I did a pacifist run here for this flight, just to try something different, so, yeah. So, not shooting at all.
You're just like barely dying on purpose. If you hit those walls, you die in one hit, if anyone doesn't know that.
Yeah.
There's a one.
Yeah, I don't get any gold rings until the very end, either.
Oh my god.
I figured this is like an extra flight because we have to ESW to Dark Ice Mines, so I might as well just treat it like it's an extra flight and just do nothing.
So here we can't just fly directly to Cloud Runner Fortress. We have to go back to Thorntail first.
Yeah, but we haven't unlocked Cloud Runner Fortress yet, so we have to.
Oh, that's also true.
We have to go to Cape Claw to unlock it now.
Done gold bar skip, yeah, I forgot.
Oh, unfortunately, we're not going to ever do gold bar skip in this task.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the big, like, actual unoptimized thing in this task. But I'll get to that in a second. First, you said we skipped the cutscene. We also wouldn't be able to load Lightfoot Village if we didn't die here, so we hit a save checkpoint that's down there, then die in the mushroom, and then continue.
Did you frame perfect show that mushroom when passing it?
Yes, I did. You can actually shield the mushrooms and not take poison gas damage if you shield on the perfect frame.
Oh.
That's actually a thing you can do. Yeah, so that's why I didn't die initially when I did that.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Now
you just rolled past it.
Yeah. So now I start another air swim because I want to go to Cape Claw. That's where you go next to unlock Cloud Runner Fortress, the second area in the game. Normally, the way you're supposed to get there is you get Spellstone 1, you play Spellstone 1, which unlocks getting Krazoa Spirit 2 within a long side quest. You release Krazoa Spirit 2, and then the Workstone gives you a bigger Scarab bag, which can hold more than 60 Scarabs. And then you pay the bribe for the guard at the gate, 60 Scarabs, to get into Cape Claw. But we never get that bigger Scarab bag, and we just do an air swim to go under the gate. So we're going to skip all of that stuff. So there was a trick discovered like 5 months after I tasked this, where you can skip collecting and placing the gold bars in Cape Claw, which you normally need to lower the ladder, but sadly this wasn't known about at the time I tasked this, so this is like the one like legitimately big time save this task doesn't do. It doesn't do gold bar skip, and it also does the complicated ESW later to get to Cape Claw too.
How much faster gold bar skip again?
Altogether, including both the Cape Claw 2 stuff and the gold bar skip, it would have been about made the task 3.5 minutes faster if it did all that.
Oh jeez, that sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm leaving it for a future caster who wants to take a shot at it, because it'll take like another year to make an optimized task with that included.
It's unfortunate because this game doesn't let you copy inputs. That really sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But yeah, now we're swimming to Cape Claw. The way this loads is kind of weird. Initially, we can't just walk directly into Cape Claw because the game will soft lock because the map isn't loaded. But we loaded the loading trigger for the Cape Claw well. So we cancel our air swim on this thing. Then we hit the load trigger for the Cape Claw well itself to load because the objects in it weren't loaded. And then we go back down into the well. Now we're going to hit the load trigger in the well that we loaded, which loads Cape Claw's loaded objects. And now we're going to go back up to where Cape Claw is and hit the save trigger that's now there.
It's basically what we do at the end of the run in a normal run. We're doing the same thing here. This is nice to see though, because like I haven't even seen this before Gold Bar Skip, so I don't remember any of this. Like what's going on.
So we just hit a save trigger, and then once we hit that, we want to go back and get the fuel cells in the bottom of this well.
Is this the thing you're trying to tell me that's kind of ridiculous?
Maybe. I don't remember.
You asked me, do I collect the fuel cells in the well or something?
Oh, yeah, that's what
what is that?
Oh, yeah. That was a ledge grab cancel I did there. I did another one.
Yeah, so this well is programmed in a weird way where if you fall, it will just void you. Like in certain ways. If you like try to skip the ladders. Yeah. So it's like really annoying to just jump down. I was messing around with him out of interest, just because I knew the fuel cells down there. And the game's like, no, sorry, you can't just jump down. Which is why you saw him like do one flight at a time. It doesn't let you. Do you have to watch the cutscene here?
I think, yeah, I don't think there's any way to
Oh,
avoid
that's so
it.
unfortunate. This is also one of the other things Gold Bar skip. Like the new thing skips. You skip this cutscene where Tricky's like freaking out of nowhere.
Yeah. Also, you guys may have noticed that I shot the switch under the waterfall there to make the bridge come out. But I'm not going to use that bridge for a long time, for like more than another hour. Just keep it in the back of your mind until the end of the
We
task.
also don't load the bridge anymore as well. It's another thing you save time on. Small things. This whole Cape Claw section is not going to be like optimal in comparison to RTA now, but it's nice to see the old strat still. It's whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, when it comes to tasks like this, it's sort of hard to keep them up to date because, like I said, something like this takes over a year to make, which means a lot of stuff will be outdated. Like, in a way, it's kind of lucky only one major trick was found that like saves a few minutes in terms of it being outdated because there was like half an hour worth of other time saves that were found and were included in this task while it was being made.
Honestly, Gold Basket's not that interesting anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, you just like swim into Cape Claw directly, but you kind of see a similar thing at the end of the game anyway. So
the only thing you'd see different in the task RTA if you've seen Gold Basket in a normal run is you clip the waterfall and land on the floor already. That's the only difference. You can do tasks. So like even the task would look exactly the same as RTA anyway.
Yeah,
it's kind of a nice thing. It's not in the task. It's kind of boring.
Yeah. Oh, hitting those giant shark claws there in the head is horrible. This one is literally pixel perfect. Like, there's 10,500 possible inputs you can hold on the control stick. There's only one that could hit that shark claw in the head there through that wall.
It's always in the same place? Or is it RNG?
No, I just meant in that particular spot. And when he was in that spot, there was only one spot I could shoot him at.
Oh, you didn't use flame to kill this guy. Oh, you had to wait
well,
anyway.
I had to wait anyway, because Tricky's digging, so I did some normal combat.
The rad normal combat.
Yeah. So we need to get these 4 gold bars because we give them to the high top guy there. He lowers the ladder, and then we can turn the switch to open the gate to the gas chamber.
You skipped the scarabs paying? No way! Imagine paying that guy. I did it. It feels bad, man.
How much does he cost anyway?
I don't know, but I was upset when I saw someone else just like use the thing, and I was like, bro.
Scammed.
I got scammed.
Yeah, for some reason, if you've already gone up there once with the rocket boost, when you come back, he won't try to make you pay. So that's very convenient.
The devs are trolls.
Yeah, you could actually just jump around him anyway, I think, so it wouldn't even matter if he was still there. But I mean, a task could anyway.
It's crazy to think about because you swam all the way to the well, and all you had to do was like an extra 1 minute of swimming to do gold bar skip. Instead, you did all this. It's so painful.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, well, gold bar skip, it's kind of complicated how it works. So this, like, you're swimming through a weird, like, out-of-bounds trigger to another area that happens to exist, and it's kind of one of a kind.
Oh yeah, so out-of-bounds water, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's even there. Oh, dog.
Yeah. So, yeah, now we can just go up there and turn the switch. Putting that ladder down was actually important also because we're going to come back here for Cape Claw 2, and we have to open the Sharp Claw switch. Open the Sharp Claw door here, which requires this ladder to be down. So there's 2 reasons we placed the gold bars there. Oh, both could have been skipped if we had gold bar skip, but what are you going to do?
So this whole section you could have just basically done 3 minutes faster by just swimming into around the village and going into
this part would have been 2.5 minutes faster, and then there's a part coming up that'd be 1 minute faster.
Okay. Is it the hitting the switch after, I'm guessing?
It's the doing the, well, I don't think you've seen it before. It's like a long ESW we do to get from Cloud Runner Fortress back to Cape Claw.
Oh, I know about, I heard about it, but I never saw it, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Also, these blocks you can...
My favorite soundtrack in the games, the gas chamber room.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, these blocks you can actually release early as well. They kind of slide for a few frames after you let go. It's like a little...
Yeah, you can see while I'm pushing this one how far away the other one is from the edge of the grate, and that still counts.
See here, unskippable cutscene coming up.
Yep. Here we unlock Cloud Runner Fortress now that the gate's down. So yeah.
Well, so you might be wondering, why does he roll around that tree? There's kind of like a huge invisible wall in front of the other side of the tree. I don't know why.
There's a what?
There's like a big invisible wall blocking the other side of the tree.
Oh yeah, that's true. Also, I kind of hit the tree a little because I think that makes you lose your upwards momentum faster because I want to fall sooner. So that loads the cutscene a little faster.
You only have one Krazoa Spirit right now, right?
Yeah, I have Krazoa Spirit 3 in me right now.
It just looks red on my monitor, I don't know why. Maybe MLA is weird.
He used my powers to open a path to the Cloudrunner
Yeah.
fortress. I must
Go.
return there to help my tribe.
I'm gonna need that spellstone. Looks like you've got yourself company, lady. Peppy?
To say, as an aside, I feel like it's kind of rude that Fox just calls a queen lady. I don't get who does that, but whatever.
There's a lot of things rude about this cutscene.
Yeah.
Chick
Oh,
is basically just being somewhat racist, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And you can wait there for me to return.
I'll meet you at the fortress. Good luck.
It's also cool you can tell these cutscenes aren't like pre-rendered or anything because Fox's eyes are purple from having Krazoa Spirit 3 inside of him, which you're never supposed to have at this point. So you can tell that it's actually like doing this on the fly.
One of the only pre-rendered cutscenes in the game is in Dragon Rock with that really bad audio quality. It's so embarrassing that even exists.
Which one is that? I'm not
The one
sure.
with
what you're
the
talking-
the one cutscene in Dragon Rock near the end, where like, you release the bird and then like, the quality is like pathetic.
Oh, yeah. TAS actually skips that altogether.
Well, you
so
saved
don't-
in the other? What was
Yeah,
it?
the reason why, because of the complicated ESW we're going to do later on, we need to have a save file that's in Cave Claw, so we need to save before we leave in order for that to work. That's why I just saved in midair there for no reason.
I've never
Also,
seen
you
this.
have to wait. Also, you have to wait like a second after you save before you can unpause, which is why it looks like I just did nothing for a second. But that was actually the earliest I could unpause.
Oh, that cutscene's not pre-rendered? Really? The really scuffed cutscene? Really? It just seems like it's so bad. There's no way.
All of Dragon Rock is just a fever dream, so you know.
Huh, huh. So I'm hearing. They see me rolling.
So you can actually ESW back to Dark Eyes Mines a little bit fast, 15 seconds faster, but that would skip all these fuel cells.
Is that
And,
fast RTA?
Not really. You would skip all the fuel cells, so that doesn't work. And
yeah,
also, the issue also is you can only unlock a new area by flying to it from Thorntail Hollow, so we would have to fly to Thorntail Hollow first and then Cloudrunner Fortress to get there anyway, so it doesn't save as much time as you might think.
That's correct. The fuel cells, I
Yeah.
remember now. So here we're gonna collect fuel cells on the way back, which are really convenient and they're pretty fast to get. This is like the only place in the game I try to shield roll, because it's just a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna cut the corner. Clean! I love the corner cards.
Oh, the reason why the trees didn't load is because they only load when you're coming into Life of Village, not the other way. And because we swam in underground, we skipped all the load triggers for objects here. Basically, when you come back, the game just is reloaded to the state it was in last when you were here, which in this case is having nothing loaded. It's kind of weird that way.
Is it possible to shoot these magic plants through those logs? I've never tried it.
I'm not sure. I think at the very least, I don't know if it would save any time doing it, though.
Yeah, true. It's like, save like nothing basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can also like roll into a climbable wall in this game and it'll just climb right away, which is nice. There's a shield. I heard it went ting. Two of them.
Oh, yeah, you can hear the shield here.
Yeah, you
on
can
the
hear that.
mushroom guy.
Alright, climb around the fortress.
Let's go. So yeah, the only way to unlock a new area, you press A when you're after you talk to the gatekeeper in Thorntail Hollow, and it spends the fuel cells and also unlocks the next area. Fun fact: you can only unlock one area at a time, which will actually come into play much later on and be annoying. So, let's see. Yeah, now we're just flying to Cloudrunner Fortress.
So I just went AFK for a second to get a drink.
Yeah, it's sections not that interesting. It's just some nice flying.
Look at that line he takes. It's beautiful.
Right when he tries to back boost me, the double.
2 quick ones.
Perfect line.
So what was your favorite part of making this task? Like, what section do you enjoy doing the most?
I guess one thing I liked doing was, I liked tasking the Dracor fight. I liked tasking the boss fight for Spellstone too, like killing that thing as quickly as possible.
Dude, Draco's
Also the
fun.
section, yeah, and also the section of Cloudrunner Fortress where you're like shooting the shark claws from insanely far away, like you shoot them from like across the map.
I've not seen that yet.
We'll get to it.
That'd
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah, I would say things like that. Things I didn't like were generally anywhere where I didn't have the staff because you can't do shield rolls, which is sad. And a bunch of other things.
I just want to say...
Actually, there's a cool part
Wait,
coming
what?
up here now.
You can do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can do that.
Is that faster?
So this is faster. Like we said, swimming is terrible in this game, so we skip swimming by doing that to get down here.
This is faster?
Yeah, it's faster. I think it's faster by a lot, like 5 seconds
Is
maybe.
RTA possible? I've never seen this.
It is. I just don't know if it would save as much time because you can't do the ledge grab cancel. So
And you
well,
don't
I guess
get,
you have to
you don't
do
get
it
health as well, so it's kind of scary.
Yeah, you have to roll before you land or you'll die from
Yeah,
fall
like
damage.
when you go up there's the turret that always hits you unless you shield it perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, this is probably faster than anyone's done at RTA. I finished with like, I don't know, 3.54 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, you say
maybe? Maybe
1.5 seconds there.
Yeah, let me check.
It's
Yeah, it's
1.5.
4.54 seconds left.
We get 3 seconds, 3.1 here if you do it really well.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. All
Yeah,
the
TAS
rolls,
is
man.
like per second faster, just by better rolling.
It's crazy.
So up here, we can avoid dying on these things that are shooting lightning at us because we're just going to shield on the frame that they shoot the lightning right here.
Jeez.
And also a few other times.
Oh no! That's fine.
Jump scare.
Damn. Yeah, so one thing I want to talk about is Colorado Fortress is one of the areas in the game where the devs did a really good job of making sure you can't break it. Apart from the end, like it's actually really well designed. Like there's not really much sequence breaking going on here.
Yeah, not a whole lot. It's pretty straightforward.
Like there's a huge gate you just can't pass at the beginning. It's like it's a big no to speedrunners.
Yeah. So the next part is kind of sad because Fox loses his staff again, and that means now we can't do shield rolls for another 30 seconds, which makes me sad. It's usually easier when you can do shield rolls. The reason why is that you can shield on one frame and roll on the next frame in any direction you want and immediately move all your momentum in that direction on the next frame. So you get like perfect control when you do shielding and rolling in this game. Whereas if you can't do that, you're just kind of like moving blockily, like just rolling around, and it looks kind of sloppy by comparison. Especially when you're trying to go around curved areas. Oh yeah, one thing I really hate testing in this game is any area where you're going around a curve, because you usually have to do like 1,000 different shields to like get every like edge that makes up the circle. It's hard to explain. Well, I'll point them out when we get to it. One of them is like going to Moon Mountain past that like hallway in Thorntail Hollow. You'll see. So yeah, we don't have our staff anymore. But, fortunately, we can get it back pretty soon. Somehow we don't wake the guard up even though we literally just splashed through the water there. Who knows why?
I've actually walked in the puddles in one of my runs. I was very sad.
Yeah.
It happens.
Half the time they don't even notice. They don't care. Sometimes they do notice. So that gives us the Sharp Claw disguise. And actually, now that we have that, we'd actually want to go back to Cape Claw because there's a door we want to open. We need it open at the end of the game in order to escape because we didn't know about Gold Bar Skip, technically. But, ignoring that fact, yeah, we need that door open. We can't open it at the end of the game because Cape Claw has 3 states it can be in. The first one, when you get there initially. The second one, which is when you have the Sharp Claw disguise. And the third one, which is when you've either killed Dracor or gotten the Portal Opener upgrade. In Cape Claw 1, you obviously can't open the door because you literally don't have the Sharp Claw disguise. And in Cape Claw 3, there's a rock blocking the place where you open the door, so you can't open it either. We can only open it in Cape Claw 2. But ideally, we only want to go to Cape Claw once because walking there and back is really, really slow. So in a minute, we're going to do a really complicated series of ESWs, and it's going to get us in Cape Claw with the Sharp Claw disguise that we just got, and like all the items from Cloudrunner Fortress. And then we're going to have that file there, and one file that's in Cloudrunner Fortress right next to an ESW trigger, so we can ESW right back when we're done opening the door. Yeah, that's something kind of hard to explain, actually.
I'm pretty sure this was in the world record before I started running the game.
Yeah, I don't know if it ever was, actually. I know it was in the route for the world record, but I don't know if anybody ever did a full run with it. It was just like, this is what we should do, but then they found other stuff.
I'm pretty sure I remember Celestial's world record didn't have gold boss skip before I ran the game.
Yeah, I guess it might not have. So I put on the Shark Claw disguise going up this ladder, because otherwise you can't shield while you're going up, and these things would kill me. But they don't attack you if you have the disguise on.
Yeah, it's like a wind knob, because you get magic up the top anyway. You get a full refill at the top. There's like no reason not to do this. There's like a million HP boxes as well, so in the run we just get health and magic here.
This part coming up is going to look like I messed up, but I didn't. You'll see why in a second.
Oh my god, you hit the trigger. Wow.
Yeah, so here I just quit without saving after doing all that stuff.
No, the run's
My last
over.
save was in Cape Claw. But there was an ESW trigger I just hit there, so my position is set, so the next time I die, I'm going to respawn right back there with all the items I had when I hit the ESW trigger last.
I love the ledge grab skips.
So yeah, skip grabbing the ledge there, and now I respawn in Cloudrunner Fortress with the items I got. I hit a save trigger there.
Why does he do
and
that
then
animation?
hit the ESW. What?
The animation where he like lays on the ground and gets up? What is that?
Oh yeah, that's just like, whenever you respawn there it does that. I have no idea why. So that gave us a file in Cloudrunner Fortress and one file in Cape Claw. Then the Cloudrunner Fortress one, I hit the save trigger, so that way I set my position to respawn there. Then I hit the ESW trigger after that, so now, and then I die in Cape Claw, so now I have two files in Cloudrunner Fortress. But this one, I did a reverse ESW, but then I saved and quit without hitting another save trigger. That does something special because it makes a full file copy, but it also keeps your save position, whatever it was when you last died, which in this case is still in Cape Claw. So now I respawn in Cape Claw with all the items I had in Cloudrunner Fortress, and my other file is still in Cloudrunner Fortress, ready to hit the ESW trigger. So yeah, now you can see I still have the Sharp Claw disguise.
There are fuel
and I'm in Cape
cells
Claw.
in the gas chamber?
What?
I didn't know there were fuel cells in the gas chamber.
Oh yeah, they only appear in Cape Claw 2. They don't appear in Cape Claw 1 or 3.
I was really confused.
Yeah. So the main reason we did all that, besides getting some fuel cells, is just to open this door here with the Sharp Claw disguise. And now we're going to ESW back to Cloudrunner Fortress and continue on our merry way.
It's so unfortunate. Ghost Box skips all of this stuff.
Yeah, Gold Bar Skip would have skipped that, but oh well.
It's crazy. So much crazy stuff going on with the save files just because of Gold Bar Skip not being used. It's insane.
Yeah, personally I like it because that trick is called reverse event storage reward, and I like that just for the meme of having a task that includes reverse ESW.
It's so confusing what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's like you're making a copy of the save file but keeping your location at the same time. So it's kind of it's like doing something you don't normally do either way. Because normally you teleport and keep your progress, but you're keeping your progress and not teleporting, which is insane.
So here I need a little bit of health because I'm gonna take. You can't avoid taking damage on the flames up ahead, and now I die if I took damage. So I have to get more health. Yeah. And now from here, our goal is we want to get the power gems and the power room key and turn the wind lifts on.
So this is is this on a cycle at the end, or is the turret at the end based on when you enter the last room? Did you figure that out?
The laser things?
You know, like at the end, when you rise the barrel up to the top before you save and quit, and there's a turret that can hit you. And it's on a cycle of some sort. When does that cycle begin?
I think it's probably initialized when you first enter the area, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, we open the gate through that box, which is considered a glitch and glitchless for some dumb reason. And we can roll through the sides of the flame there, which is convenient because we don't have Ice Blaster, so we can't put the flames out in Cloudrunner Fortress. But luckily, the devs did a horrible job centering all the flames in Cloudrunner Fortress, so we can literally just roll through the left side of them.
I love how you first shade a glitchless.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just like, is it really a glitch? You're just like, come on.
It's just bad design.
Yeah, it's just,
really
like if the game lets you, then, to be a glitch, you should have to actually do something. This is like the least effort. If anything, you're going out of your way to make things easier for the game. So yeah, same thing works on this flame over here. Luckily.
Yeah. So if you luckily, like, you know how you skip freeze blast? He doesn't have freeze blast for these right now. So if these things were placed properly, this wouldn't even be possible.
Yeah, we'd have to get Spellstone 1 and Freeze Blaster and do Bike Skip and all the other stuff.
Yep, but because these flames are placed terribly, for some reason in Cloud Runner Fortress everywhere, we don't need freeze
everywhere
blast.
else, all the flames are placed correctly outside of Cloud Runner Fortress. It's like everything here is just off by like 1 unit.
It makes no sense why they did that. They're just like,
yeah, this is
whatever.
the only thing. It's the only thing they messed up in Cloud Runner Fortress. Everything else is
apart from the vent at the end's messed up as well, but...
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's kind of hard to foresee, though. That's like just people being crafty. That's like one of the smarter sequence breaks that's been discovered in this game. Like, in terms of, like, how complicated it is. But, we'll get to that.
So, again, we're gonna get the Power Ranger stones here. We're gonna enter the Power Ranger cave, as I said during my last ESA run.
Nice, nice. Oh, we also want to have low health here, because we're going to die after and do a death warp at a certain point. So you might notice I intentionally will take damage in a minute on one of these sharp claws.
Well, no, like, well, the thing about Cloud Runner Fortress is, like, it's not very glitch heavy. It's just that you can skip one sequence at the end, and that's pretty much it. But aside of that, you pretty much have to follow what the devs want you to do.
Yeah, it's pretty linear in that sense. Like, you can't skip a lot of things.
Yeah, we can't skip the gate, we can't skip this room. You know, we can't just get to the final area, we can't just go straight to the boss room. You know, there's no, like, big, huge sequence breaks apart from one little thing at the end.
So yeah, if there was a way to get up to the second floor, then I guess we could skip getting all these power gems, but since there isn't, we have to do this part. We don't have any other way up there. Actually, one of my favorite parts of the TAS is coming up pretty soon. Once we go off the wind tunnel, that is.
Is it actually faster to just hit that switch?
Yeah, it's faster by like 2 seconds to hit the switch first because of how slow it is to go back out and in, and then wait for the gate.
Okay,
Alright, so now we're going to kill all 5 shark claws, and we're going to no-scope them across the entire hallway. Watch this. Headshot, headshot, headshot. 20 shots, all perfectly.
It's insane.
Yeah. We also have to wait a little bit after each one, because if you turn the camera around too quickly, the shots will despawn, and you have to be at a perfect distance, or like at the exact midpoint where they won't despawn.
That's what I was gonna say, like, I'm surprised the shooting distance works that far in this game.
Yeah, that's because it's like literally as far as possible with perfect camera and perfect position, and that's why we even had to wait a few seconds for the shots to hit one of the enemies in order to turn around.
It did shoot you, the cycle. I was wondering
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
I just shielded right away, it's no big deal.
He's right behind you, jeez. And you did the fast jump, nice. So we talked about earlier, if you jump off an edge of a barrel, you just drop it. So that's what he did.
Convenient. So we don't. It's faster than say warping out to die in the shark claw, and the reason why we want to warp out, yeah, that's faster.
That saves
if
like
you're
8
looking
seconds.
for RTA. Yeah, if you're looking for RTA strats to do, then take
Wait,
note.
what? You can do that as well? I'm learning.
Oh, you can do that. I think actually the original TAS in 2016 threw the barrel through that wall. So yeah, you can throw barrels through walls in this game because the collision between barrel and wall doesn't work very well. So now there's a exploding barrel inside that wall, and now we're going to do a glitch called Baby Cloud Runner Skip and skip the rest of Cloud Runner Fortress.
I'm jealous how you just land on the trigger. I was trying to do that.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
So the way that works is we land on the edge there, and the game thinks we're supposed to fall, but we didn't fall. So it still sets a flag saying, make Fox fall the next time he goes in the wind tunnel. And then we go in the wind tunnel on the lower floor, and then we fall to the basement. And then we can turn the switch to make the barrel come down. And that skips collecting the Cloud Runner fluke, rescuing the baby Cloud Runners, going all the way around and going down, and a huge amount of stuff. And now we're ready for the boss fight.
I literally just saw things that save like 15 seconds nearly in RTA. I might try those. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
Death Warp is...
Death Warp there seems smart, actually.
Yeah.
Get the spellstone out of here.
It's pretty cool.
See, that's one of the smarter sequence breaks there, like, in terms of coming up with that. Just that the way the game makes you fall down and that wind tunnel is just setting a flag that you should fall down one level and then exploiting that with that precise jump. Yeah, it's just like a nice little logic break there to get down there. Because normally you can't get down to the basement until you've done a lot of other stuff, and then you lower the winds, and then that's how you get.
This is gonna look very different to an RTA run. There's a strat that was discovered. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. So here we need to kill the lead sharp claw to get the second spell stone, and we normally this is hard because they don't lose any momentum when you hit them, but you do lose all your momentum when you hit them. And usually you'll hit like the first one, and then all the other ones behind them will hit you.
So normally you'd hit them like right there as he went around that corner in RTA, but he doesn't do that. He tries to set up a manip here.
Yeah. So first I'm not gonna hit them until I get to the boost pad because then I can regain all my momentum while hitting him twice. Then I hit him in midair because it locks his direction and it will make him crash into a wall. And then I can just keep hitting him while he's against the wall and he'll die right away. And that's really, really fast.
Is there RNG on this at all? Or is it also...
No. They're really just... I think they mostly just move on a fixed path. The code is actually copy-pasted from Diddy Kong Racing because they're both made by Rare, so same thing. Yeah. They just follow like a fixed loop of path, like the points along the map.
So technically you could do that strat RTA if you just did the same thing every time?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a little bit harder
with it. It looks harder though.
It probably is.
Yeah, like the part where you like hit the boost pad at the same time as the enemy looks so annoying.
Yeah, you might honestly be able to skip that because I think when they're against the wall, they would still die if you hit them. It would just be an extra hit.
Oh yeah, because you can just like hit them a second later.
Yeah, it would just be like 1 second slower.
I can mess with it. Looks interesting.
Yeah. So here you yeah, we get forced right into the R-Wing right after we get the Spellstone. I was going to say it's unfortunate because we get ESW, but actually we can't really ESW out of here to save time because our only ESW point is in Dark Ice Mines, and we'd still have to do the flight back to Thorntail Hollow. So it doesn't actually really have any effect on us here, the fact that we get forced into orbit.
Well, you get to do this again. It's great.
Yeah, of course. My favorite flight. I think this one's even a little bit faster than the last one. It's getting a little more optimized each time. You can see my progression as a TASer.
It's when you became a score point person, like one of those high score like bounty people.
Yeah, became a Twin Galaxy fanboy at this point, trying to maximize high score.
So shouldn't it be slowing down instead of speeding up?
Yeah. Going nice and fast. So now after this, we kind of like do a lot of random miscellaneous things that seem kind of random at this point. The reason why we didn't release Krazoa Spirit 3 earlier, even though we could have just gone to Krazoa Palace by talking to the Warp Stone to release it, is that you need the Sharp Claw disguise to release it, so we weren't able to do that until now. So now we are able to do that. And once we do that, it sets Thorntail Hollow to a new state where there's a new ESW trigger present in Thorntail Hollow that didn't exist before, next to where the egg event is. And also it sets the egg events that we can do that and get the portal opener upgrade. And that lets us kind of advance to the next part of the task. But before we do that, we need to farm a little first. So I could have gotten this bomb spore when I was walking back from Dark Ice Mines to save time, but I didn't know I needed this at the time because a glitch was discovered like right before I tasked this section, like the day before I was going to task it. That would save like 6 minutes, and it needs another bomb spore to do. So sadly,
so here you have good Thorntail, like you were telling me.
Oh yeah, Thorntail Hollow is glitched here. You can see there's black textures everywhere, and that's because we got a memory leak when we were swimming out of bounds and going to Cape Claw. This will actually stay this way until we either hard reset the console or until the end of the game. And we never hard reset the console, so Thorntail Hollow is just going to look messed up for the rest of the task, with weird gray stuff everywhere.
You can avoid this by swimming very specifically, but it normally happens when you like skim the out of bounds section a little bit, and it just doesn't like it. Like very specific cameras or looking at specific things cause Thorntail to stay glitched in the memory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes it can cause the game to crash when you load Thorntail Hollow, but luckily that didn't happen here, or it would have been sad.
Oh, it's gonna be clean. I'm ready for it. Oh no, wait, this is the easy one. Never mind. Wait, yeah, it's the easy. Oh wait, never mind. You don't take the easy route. You still go for the strat anyway.
There's kind of a weird audio glitch here when you release the spirit. I don't really know what causes this.
Oh, there's no
I
audio.
don't think
I think it's a
Yeah, I don't
jellyfish. Your jellyfish overrid your audio there. That's why.
uh,
It's a jellyfish. The jellyfish causes audio glitches here. I'm pretty sure.
they do like to mess with things.
Have you ever had the jellyfish the whole game? The sound, like.
No. Is that
Yeah.
possible?
So yes, if your jellyfish attacks you on the same frame this cutscene starts, you hear the jellyfish whirlpool sound the whole run, and it happened to me in one of my runs, and it was so annoying.
I
Oh
should've
my
done that.
god.
If I make another task this game, I'll have new
No
ideas.
one would watch the second half of the task if you did that. It's
You just put on music over the task, just like, I don't know, listen to
Benny
something
Hill
else.
theme.
Yeah, exactly. So now that we released Zoa Spirit 3, this ESW trigger, which is next to where the dinosaur that's wailing is active, which didn't exist before.
I'm looking forward to you messing around during this. Like this.
Oh yeah, this part we mess around a lot. This is like the real auto-scroller. We just have to protect our eggs for a minute and a half to get the portal opener. But I also want to take enough damage that I can die for ESWs later on, so yeah, I'm just gonna spin in some circles,
It's
take some damage.
actually
chill out.
one of the best places to take damage in the game. It's like really
Yeah,
convenient.
completely free.
Mm-hmm. We do this in the run as well. It just makes so much sense to take damage here.
Mhm.
Game & Watch minigame. I feel sorry for anyone who's lost this minigame. I've never lost this minigame, even casually.
Rip. I think 7-year-old me might have lost a few times, but still wasn't too bad.
I feel sorry for anyone lost like the test of strengths. Like, just mash A.
The test of strength is easy. The Lightfoot Village one's a pain, but luckily TAS doesn't even have to do that.
I love how you're killing them frame perfect for no reason. You don't even have to.
Yeah, just for the hell of it. Fun fact, if you have Groundquake when you get to this part, you can just use Groundquake to kill all enemies that are currently on screen if you're having trouble with this section and you're playing it casually.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So anyone who's having trouble casually, just refill your mana bar and do some Groundquakes whenever you get in trouble, and it's pretty easy and hard to kill. Because in a regular, like, casual playthrough, you would have Groundquake right now.
I'm waiting for the last 6 seconds where you start messing around. No?
Huh? What would I do differently?
You can just run around and do some stupid
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, I
like,
guess I could. I wanted to keep hitting them as late as I could, though, so... Yeah, I just keep hitting as many. I want
you
to
have
kill
like
as many.
you have like 8 seconds where you can just mess around. Oh, you're glowing?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's because I got near where the portal opener is, and your staff glows whenever you're near it, and that effect stays with you for some
Oh,
reason.
really? I've never seen that. I'm gonna do it on purpose next time.
Yeah, that was an accident. I don't know what
I like
caused
that. That's cool.
So here we hit the ESW trigger when we go around that dinosaur there, and we're actually going to take advantage of that by saving and quitting after getting the portal opener and
Yep.
doing an ESW
For
on
some
it.
reason, they put the checkpoint ESW trigger basically behind the dinosaur's butt. I don't know why.
Yeah, there's also a one-time only save trigger, which we activate by beating the egg event, but it can't be activated again by going back there. It's just only when you beat the event the first time.
Which is why we can just save and quit out of here, which is nice.
Yeah, and our respawn point, if we were to load this file again right away, would be right next to the dinosaur. And our ESW point is also right next to the dinosaur, because,
So,
like I said,
Right
ESW
now,
triggered.
this is pretty much the most convenient place to warp to over and over. So
We don't have to keep flying from Dark Ice Mines back to Thorntail Hollow
now
every
we-
time
now we just make a copy of file 1 basically onto file 2,
Yeah.
and then yeah, now we have a permanent Thorntail warp point.
So we have 2 identical files in Thorntail Hollow with the portal opener now. Now we're going to do Dark X-Rain's favorite glitch. The Queen Cloudrunner cutscene skip.
Yeah, clean off Orca. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Queen
So
Earthwalker.
basically, there's this tiny part of floor you can land out of bounds near the Queen Earthwalker, and you can use just to barely skip around to the torch, and you can clip the torch with a perfect angle, and you can just barely miss landing in the cutscene for the Queen Earthwalker cutscene where you need portal, and it RTA just saves like 8 seconds or 10 seconds if you do it perfectly, and it's so pointless. And to be fair, you lose like a minute, so we don't do this obviously. But you'll see, it's really cool. This is possible RTA, but it's just not worth it.
Yeah, TAS does it so fast it saves like 20 plus seconds doing it, but RTA wouldn't get all that time saved even if it did it relatively perfectly.
Like the part where he clipped for that torch at the end with the diagonal where he took like flame damage, that part, if you get the wrong angle and bad speed, you fall for the floor. It's really
Or
bad.
you either fall through the floor, or you hit the cutscene trigger.
And then the cutscene just starts in one frame. She's like, "It's so nice to see you," and you're just like mad. You're just raging super hard when you hear it.
Yeah.
Like I practiced it for like an hour just to get an idea how dumb it is, and every time I heard that it's so nice to see you, I was just super
The
mad.
cutscene gives you PTSD from it eventually.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see you, Paul.
Even when you're testing it, you probably just heard it a million times and getting mad.
Yeah. Luckily, I tasked without audio on to avoid that.
So nice to see you.
So doing all that unlocked Walled City, even though we skipped the text that told us it would have unlocked Walled City. Now we need to go get the Groundquake, because that's how we skip the Ice Blaster.
So here he's going to manipulate Tricky with using the camera, I believe. Yeah, so what he did there was he used a very specific camera, and he called Tricky right in front of the hole, and spawned Tricky right in front of it. And then what he did was he entered the crawl space and fed Tricky the mushroom on the same frame. And that puts the game in a weird state, called camlock, is what we call it. And for some reason, the game keeps a state. Probably because the game thinks you're crawling still, it wouldn't surprise me. And next time you feed Tricky, it will reactivate the same glitch, and the camera will be stuck in place.
Yeah, the only caveat is that you have to feed him in a different area from where you initially went into the tunnel, or in order to make the camera lock. But in this case, we're in the Link map now instead of Thorntail Hollow, so it'll lock when we feed him here.
It is possible to do the same map, but you need to unload the map while you're in it. Which used to be how we used to do camlock originally, was we used to clip out of bounds using the camera and then feed Tricky while out of bounds. But it was really bad. Obviously it's slow.
So doing this, we went around the load trigger that loads the cutscene load trigger, which is here. So it's like a trigger to a trigger. It's kind of weird.
There's no barrels.
Basically, normally a cutscene triggers here where the guard is like, somebody's coming. And that cutscene also locks that door up ahead. And since the cutscene never played, the door never locked, so we can just waltz right in.
Yeah, and the cutscene's triggered by the camera loading the area, so we just don't let it do that.
Now we're going to do some more snipes. Nice.
It's crazy. I'm just saying it might be like a few seconds delayed, like 3 seconds. So when you say like snipes, it's probably already happened. It's like a very small delay.
It's what?
It's probably like a very small delay between what you see still.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, this is the Get Off Quake. Yeah, this was also like not too long ago.
Yeah, so the reason why we have to set up camera lock again on that wall is because the cutscene of the Life Force door opening when we killed the Sharp Claws undid our camera lock state because it moved the camera and reset it. So we set up the camera lock again there, feed Tricky on the Volcano Force Point Temple map, then enter Moon Mountain Pass. Whenever you enter Volcano Force Point Temple, the game actually unloads the date, blocking the Groundquake door to save memory, and then just reloads it when you re-enter. But doing camera lock there skips it reloading the door, so there was no door blocking us, and we just walked right in, and now we get the Groundquake here.
Dude, you have no idea how tempted I was to do a meme run of Freeze Blast Skip route with this. Just try to do it for fun at the end.
Yeah, everything's easy, so you get to K5.
The funny thing is, all the things he's done to skip Freeze Blast is not even hard. It's just the thing at the end of the run is such a joke.
Yeah. Even tasking it is a pain. I'm like, ugh, this is just annoying trying to get
I had
it
to mess with it like so much just to find angles as well, and like some I tasted like a human task, and see how many like earthquakes I could do it in. It was bad. I hate that trick.
Now we want to get back to Thorntail Hollow now, so the quickest way is to just ESW back there using the trigger we just hit.
Are you soft locked in that earthquake room? No, you spawn outside. Never mind.
Yeah, so you can just kill Tricky here, and it'll hit Tricky, he'll flame us, and that'll be enough for us to die and get out. Which is good, because all of the, like, flame objects don't load properly in Moon Mountain Pass here, I think, so this is the only way we could die. I'm pretty sure. And we can't go back into the flame area, because that'll hit a save trigger, and hitting a save trigger undoes your ESW trigger, like it deletes it, basically. So we couldn't do that. Anyway, now that we did that, we're up to one of the biggest sequence breaks in the task, which is Krazoa Spirit 4 early. Basically, the way we're supposed to get Krazoa Spirit 4 normally is you go to Walled City, get Spellstone 3, play Spellstone 3, go back, do a side quest where you save Thorntail Hollow, do another side quest in Snowhorn Waste with the Mammoth guy, and then he unlocks a gate blocking K4, and then you can go in. But we're gonna unload that gate by glitch loading Snowhorn Waste, and that'll let us just walk right into the warp portal and skip everything.
You also might notice that this RTA is done completely different. You might notice that he's doing all this crazy stuff. Normally we swim here, in a run, but you can see he's doing some really ridiculous non-RTA movement. The thing where he was sliding like really crazy when he landed, that's not RTA viable at all. That thing's
Basically, you hit the seam and you keep alternating your angle so you're perfectly aligned with it. The game keeps pushing you forward with a huge amount of speed. So that's how that happened.
It's so ridiculous.
Also, we never set the currents to go the correct direction, so we swim around the long way. Because if you go this way, it avoids the currents. Otherwise, you'd be like swimming against them and getting pushed backwards this whole time.
I remember you were testing this part like half a year ago. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a bit of it. I'm like, damn, because you were trying to figure out the part where you fall down and like get boosted like
that's
crazy.
Cool. So we already almost went back in bounds there. We hit a trigger that says load the next map. If we didn't do that, it would just soft lock when we enter the next map and wouldn't even load snow.
I tried to make that part RTA, but it's not worth it. It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's the sewers backwards.
And then by going through that last hallway without going in bounds, we skipped a load trigger for most of the props and objects in Snowhorn Waste, and that means it's going to rainbow glitch load when we go to the next area.
Windows XP!
Also, fun fact, the Ride Claw is still here, and he's going to push us forwards out of bounds
Oh,
like that.
is that what happened there?
Yeah, the Bribe Claw teleported us.
Oh,
He's
I was
still
wondering
there.
what
You could hear
happened
him
there.
for a
That was crazy.
Yeah, because we never paid him, he's still blocking us, but the way he's programmed to block us is he just forces your position to be set backwards by 500 units, which in this case shoves us out of bounds through the wall.
That's
pretty
crazy.
cool.
I was wondering what was
It
going
saves
on there.
time.
You just jolted like
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, and it saves time because it skips climbing up that little ledge, which takes like half a second. So it's actually a little time save we get for Bribe Plus skip.
I just want to point out that shot eater is actually really hard RTA because you can't even see where he's shooting. There's that giant box in the way.
Yeah, the rainbow cubes block everything.
Friggin' Windows XP everywhere.
Yeah.
So I choose not to run on this version RTA for this category because like the colors of the cubes is so obnoxious.
But there's the gate that we just skipped. It would have normally been blocking us where that blue and red box is, and that's how we got to K4. It's because it didn't load. Sorry, you can continue.
It loads as a tiny cube.
Yeah.
This game is so broken.
There's somebody said in chat, the currents actually do go out of bounds. They just don't go out of bounds in that part because you're not supposed to be able to swim like through the sides of the wall. But they do extend if you went out of bounds along like the side that you're normally supposed to swim along. So yeah, that's why we went that way. Otherwise, it'd be a little faster to go the other way if the currents didn't exist.
This is one of the only cycles in the game that matters. So here you're trying to are you messing around here?
Yeah, having a lap.
You have like 12 seconds here to make the cycle. It's a lot.
Yeah, basically the robot arm thing grabs the barrel, and because we'd have to be like 8 seconds faster, even with task perfect movement, to make it to the next cycle, and that's not even close to possible.
Was this after like I posted about the magic list stuff on Discord?
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. That's how I got the idea.
Because like I was messing around because like I was complaining about this because we had magic issues in the route, and then I just tested and I was like, dude, we have so much time, we can just slash these bats, like whatever.
Yep. This part here is nice.
Yeah, it's good gameplay.
Yeah.
You gonna throw it? No swag throw? I'm just never mind, you did. There it is. Never mind, I shouldn't have said anything.
So we fall off the edge there to throw the barrel as we're turning around, and we throw it into the robot arm so it grabs it, just for swag strats. We could have just put it down.
Saves a total of 0 seconds. Here's the optimal swimming.
Yeah.
This is harder than it looks. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, normally it's a lot slower because these whirlpools like to suck you in. Oh, the next part that's coming up is kind of funny too. This barrel has a hitbox at the edge of it, which can do damage to enemies. You'll see what that means in a second.
If this enemy skims you, even the slightest, like in a certain like position, it will blow up though.
But here he just hits himself in the face like an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like that. It's so weird. Is it only if it hits the head? Is that why?
He has to hit only the barrel and not Fox. If he hits Fox, then I'll immediately destroy the barrel.
How does the test of strength work with mashing?
Just mash A every other frame. There's nothing else to it.
Is it every 2 frames?
No, just every other frame.
Okay, so every repress frame.
Release, press A, release.
Yeah. Okay. So there's no like input like limit on how much you can mash per second?
No. This was actually a little bit faster than DVQR's task, but only by like 5 frames.
I was just wondering because like Wind Waker has like a mashing limit on the mashing, but this game doesn't, I guess.
Yeah, not really.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. It's
Yeah.
like if anyone doesn't know, some GameCube games have a limit on how fast you can press the A press. I don't know why.
Yeah, this game is fortunately very generous when it comes to mashing, so that works in our favor. So this gate reloads and blocks us after getting K4, but we can still ESW to get back out past it. And initially, there's not even a way to die.
That was actually slow, by the way. You can
Huh?
just go behind the dinosaur belly and it lets you hit the trigger.
Well, I know I can, but I still have to wait to be able to pause. You have to wait like a second.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was wondering what you were doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just killing time there. I
Holy
could've made
crap,
more
that was fast.
Oh yeah, so here you can make Tricky teleport into the cage by turning and targeting quickly, and now we can flame him to make us die, and go back to Thorntail Hollow with K4.
I found that, yay! Little things. I found the random like chord at the same time when turned around there.
I don't know if I used that when I discovered that, come to think of it. I mean, I think I just like tried to turn around as fast as I could while
Because like what
targeting.
people used to do is they used to walk all the way behind the warp area and like spawning by doing that. I was like, dude, this is so slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. People like, it took a while for people to like look more into strat finding in this game. A lot of people just like use the current strats and just kept using those.
Yeah. So the reason why we need K4 at all is that when you release K4, it puts the game in a state where you can, Thorntail Hollow's updated so you can talk to this one dinosaur who will unlock Dragon Rock for you. If you try talking to him before releasing K4, then he just says like mumble, grumble, I don't have anything to say now or something like that. So that's why we needed to do that.
Yeah.
This is also the second and last time we used the portal opener. We used it once to open Walled City and once to open up the gate to release K4 here.
Yeah, I like how you're barely skimming the side of that like windpipe. It just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, want to go in the optimal roll pattern?
Yeah.
I think we got a weird sound glitch here too also. Probably the same thing with the jellies.
Well, if you're using the same movement, then probably.
Sort of. I mean, I guess it's a little different because it's like, it's a different part of the room, sort of. But yeah, same jellyfish
Was there a
enemy.
sound glitch this time? I don't hear a sound glitch.
Oh no, this part was normal. Opening the gate didn't play the normal like gate opening cutscene when you open a portal. I think.
Oh, okay, the door opening.
Yeah. Normally it plays like a little jingle when you open like a portal opener door, which I think it did when we opened it for Walled City. But yeah.
Whoa.
So we're almost done collecting all of our fuel cells too. We need 27 to get to Walled City and Dragon Rock because it's 12 and 15, and we have 25 right now.
So going on to like the endage part of the run, like the last hour.
Like I always said, 3 spellstones down, but we actually only have 1.
You seem to be getting the hang of this. Now then,
He can count.
time for
He's
you
all good.
Yeah. He's been asleep for 1,000 years. We should give him a break.
Old man.
That's easy for you
Yeah.
to say. But where do I find the gatekeeper?
I feel like they reuse that animation of Fox shrugging his shoulders like every time he talks.
Oh yeah, like Fox has so many like weird expressions in the game. Sometimes he's like angry for no reason when he's talking. It makes
Yeah.
no sense. They must have like reused a bunch of animations for sure.
Yeah. I guess to be fair, as a kid I didn't notice it, so I guess it worked well enough to save time. So here we get the last 2 fuel cells, and we need some health for Dragon Rock so they don't have to slow down for the flames that are on the ladder.
You can do it without losing health, but it's RNG
Well-
and it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's usually pretty slow.
It's like one
So
out
we
of a
can talk-
million or something to get like perfect flame RNG on all 3.
Yeah. It might be based on a global timer, so I'm not even sure if you can even manipulate it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked to this guy, and this guy unlocks Dragon Rock for us.
I failed. Tell me.
And you'd think, oh, so we're just gonna fly to Dragon Rock now, but
For such a mighty
unfortunately,
guy, like he has the most frail voice in the game. I failed. So
Yeah.
funny.
very exaggerated. I'm not sure what other things this guy's been in, this voice actor.
I love
I don't
checking out
think
voice
he's-
actors.
I don't think he's even credited in the credits. I think he's just listed as like Earthwalker Tribe Various, so you can't even tell which guy did it because there's like
Too
7 people.
embarrassing.
Because
Yeah, they didn't even give him credit.
Is it the same guy as like my lovely beacons?
It probably is. Sadly, we skipped that cutscene.
Dude, the fucking oh yeah, there's no beacons cutscene as well. I forgot because you didn't finish Dark Guy's Minds.
We
Those-
be scoured up the dark,
Those horrible sharp claws.
extinguished our lovely beacons.
Yeah, I think it's the same
It's
voice actor on
dark
both.
Yeah.
help my friends. your side.
So
Like
we can, like I said earlier, we can only unlock one area at a time by entering the R-Wing after talking to the Gatekeeper. We never enter the R-Wing after unlocking Walled City, though. So here we spend 12 fuel cells and unlock Walled City. But even if we were to try to select Dragon Rock in orbit, the game wouldn't let us because it thinks we haven't unlocked it yet. So we have to fly back directly to Thorntail Hollow now, enter the R-Ring again, and that time we'll unlock Dragon Rock. So this is like an extra flight we have to do for a dumb reason.
I mean, the devs don't expect you to do Dragon Rock before Walled City, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain, you know. I mean, it's obviously you shouldn't even be able to come close to doing this, but yeah. Fortunately, you'll still get to see Walled City at the very end of the task because we have to go there to get K5, so we'll get there. But for now, this is faster since you can only unlock new areas when you start from Thorntail Hollow, so you can't fly anywhere else to unlock Dragon Rock. I think this section is a little bit faster than my previous ones. The flight section, that is.
So what's different?
I don't know. Or, well, it wasn't faster, I guess. I think I just got a slightly higher score. Like, I blew up more asteroids or something, maybe. Let's see, what did I finish with? 2105. Yeah. My record was 2145, so that's pretty close to what my final score is at the end of the game. Each asteroid you blow up does, like, it adds 5 points to your score or something. When you use the bomb in the asteroids, it blows up, like, 40 at once or something, or 20 at once. So there's kind of a bit of variability there. So yeah, we just immediately turn around, go back in the R-Wing to unlock Dragon Rock.
I think it's time to open up a Twin Galaxies account.
No, I should. And it's not Twin Galaxies unless I cheat, so I have to claim I did this in real time now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone must have done like a score challenge of this.
I guess. I don't even know if they care enough to keep track of modern games, though. I think it's just, like, things from the 80s.
I mean, in general. Someone must have, like...
Oh,
oh my god, my score,
general?
man, yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably. Well, I'm sure they never beat the TAS, but... they might have been... They did something good, I'm sure. I mean, you could actually get a lot higher of a score if you weren't trying to go fast, because going fast means you miss certain things.
The South Park 64 community do, like, score challenge runs.
Yeah. So you could get a higher score if you didn't use the boost at all and went slower, took your time. But yeah, for this section we have to get all 10 of the gold rings, or we don't make it to Dragon Rock, so we can't mess around. Just barely make it through there without slowing down. And barely grab that. This flight is kind of ridiculous. Alright, and that's 10. So here's a fun fact that most people probably don't know. If you make it to Dragon Rock and you never got the blowhorn from Dark Ice Mines, then the game will give it to you once you walk past a spot that's like next to the R-Wing here. There's just like a random trigger that puts it in your inventory. So notice later on we have it, even though we never got it, and we never use it so it doesn't matter, but it's just an odd little thing. So yeah, right here at that spot we get the blowhorn for no reason.
Wasn't there a thing, like, discovered like an Easter egg with the blowhorn in Vauntel or something?
Yeah, with the Cloud Runner flute. If you blow the Cloud Runner flute at the top of Thorntail Hollow, then a Cloud Runner appears and gives you like a Baffondet or something, I think.
So random.
It's kind of weird. Yeah. It's like the only use for it in the entire game outside Cloud Runner Fortress. I think you're not even allowed to blow it in most areas. So it's kind of weird. So yeah, we got help there just for those flames, so we didn't have to like slow down on the ladder and wait 10 seconds, which would have been really slow. Our goal here, Dragon Rock, the devs didn't really get a chance to finish it.
Oh my
It's
god,
kind of
you skimmed that flame.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think it was possible at first. When I initially tasked this section, I waited, and then I tried again, and I found a way to make it through.
I remember like trying things where you jump around the flames when you first recorded this. I remember watching that.
Oh yeah, I originally had other stuff I did. Here I try to get more health and then immediately take damage so that I have the right amount of health to die in a second.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, that works.
What's that?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
RTA runners, get on my level.
Doesn't say time, but it was cool. Or
No, it
no, wait, it
does.
does. It teleports up. Wait, what?
I beat the robot arm. Yeah.
Wait, how does that work? I've never seen
So I
that.
should probably explain. Basically, if you pick up the barrel while the robot arm is grabbing it, it stores that it's supposed to lift up the item, and then the next time you put it down, it tries to make it lift back up in the same direction. But because you put it down much further forward, it misses the robot arm and lands a lot farther forward after shooting really high up, so it goes onto the ledge above.
Wait, dying
And
is
that-
faster?
Yeah, dying is faster than save warping.
You have done
Or walking
well
back.
to find me.
So
I'm
the goal in
learning a
Dragon
lot.
Rock,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. In Dragon Rock, there's three things you want to do. You basically free this Earthwalker guy, which I just did by turning the switch. He lets you break some shield generators. Just let you kill the robots and free the high top. You use the high top to unlock the last area and free the Cloud Runner, who then use him to shoot the spires and get to the final boss of this area, which gives you Spellstone 4. So there's a lot of rail shooters in this area because, like I said, the devs were rushing in this part. There's also like a whole area below this map that like was just scrapped completely because they ran out of time.
So what do you expect me to use?
Yeah, we
And
have like
there's even, like,
images and videos of like stuff below the map, and this is random
Yeah.
stuff.
There's one random firefly below the map because they deleted every object below the map, but they forgot about that one, so it's just randomly out of bounds.
And we tried
no
to use
reason.
that firefly to skip Dragon Rock, but it's too
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that firefly. The funny thing is, it almost allows for a huge sequence break that would skip this whole part and let us go right to getting past the high top section, but it just barely doesn't work for complicated reasons.
Mm-hmm. It
So,
would
yeah,
be one of the
break-
coolest tricks in the game if it was possible. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. So here we're just breaking some generators. This section, the movement's pretty simple. You move a little slower whenever you do the tusk slash thing, so I only do it when I have to break the generators.
I love how early you're swinging.
Yeah, going pretty much as early as possible. And trying to force these robots to miss when
Dude,
they attack me.
that turret was so close to you and it missed. It's crazy.
Yeah, if they hit you, you go like into some crazy slow animation where you pause for like 2 seconds. So now we're shooting the robots. They take 4 shots apiece to destroy. We have to get close enough to be in the range of them. Because if we're too far away, the fire blast shots will despawn before hitting them. That's why I can't just shoot them from
Oh,
literally.
that's probably
across
why
the
my
map.
shots are missing in RTA sometimes. I'm like, why am I missing? Thinking about
Yeah,
it now.
this is as far away as you can shoot them. So if you're trying from any further away, it's not going to work.
Oh, that's why it keeps randomly happening in runs. Okay, it makes sense now. I need to be more careful.
Yeah.
I'm learning. Little things.
So this part here, this is kind of cool. We collect the mana gem during the cutscene of the high top being released from us shooting the 4 switches. So you'll see the gem falls through Fox during the cutscene, and it looks like we didn't get it, but after the cutscene ends, we'll have a mostly full mana bar, whereas it was almost empty before this cutscene started.
When is it actually collected?
I'm not sure, actually. I never checked. I just know that when the cutscene ends, the mana bar gets refilled, so it worked.
I guess we're
But I don't know when it actually did that. Yeah, it's kind of a weird effect. I guess the game didn't think you should be able to show the animation of picking it up / that despawning while this is happening. So it just doesn't allow it or something.
Maybe it's
I don't
like
really
one
know.
frame and it's so like all happens at the same time.
Yeah. So once this
For the best
cutscene
part
ends,
of the
you'll see
game, yay! This is basically a cutscene.
auto scrollers.
You shoot him in one
So, yeah.
frame. Yeah.
My mana bar originally was like only 1/4 full, so you can see it's now like 3/4 full.
You didn't shoot the dinosaur, bro.
Oh yeah, you can shoot him.
You didn't shoot him. Disappointed. Or did you?
We'll see. Don't spoil it.
I shoot him at the beginning.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish you could shoot the turret things in the back here, like the targets. It would have been so nice. You could shoot the
Yeah.
targets early.
That'd be good.
Isn't it great how Trick is like, where are we going, and asking you for food during this? Because for some reason he's like loaded under you for no reason. Let's
Yeah.
play!
The devs were really running out of time here. It's like when you're doing a group project in school and it's due the next day and you're just like cramming to get things in.
Oh,
you know?
there we go. He's bullying him.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of trolled the dinosaur there.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Does he actually have the same health bar as you still? Because like, if you shoot the dinosaur with dismount glitch, you actually die. If you have low health.
I don't think you can, because I think if you did, it would affect the health bar for the high top, if that worked.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, though.
Like, when you dismount from the thing and you hit it, you just die. It's funny.
Yeah. So the one difference between our 1.0 and 1.1 that does cost 1.0 time is that at the end of this autoscroller section, there's, instead of the cutscenes for getting to the next area starting as soon as the last missiles are done firing, there's an extra 15 seconds you have to wait for no reason.
Oh, really?
So that's kind of annoying. Yeah, that's the main difference between 1.0 and 1.1, or one of the main differences.
Wait, 1.0 is it faster?
No, it's 1.0 is slower. 1.1 got rid of that and made it faster.
I didn't know that. Good thing I didn't run on 1.0 then, jeez.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll see coming up, it'll just be like a section where we're just sitting there doing nothing for 15 seconds. Time to rehydrate or whatever. Yeah, unfortunately this dinosaur takes the slowest path around the area, so...
It's right on your left, and he goes right. It's like, bro...
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, he has to walk 3/4 of the way around the map going right instead of just going left 1/4 of the way. It's a pretty small area, like, he lived here like most of his life and doesn't know where that one
You can literally see it after he leaves. It's right in front of him.
You think you could see. Oh yeah, this part I shoot them as fast as I can here because it's the last round of them. So yeah, now they're all gone. And now we just wait 15 seconds.
Wow, this takes ages. What the heck?
Yeah, I know.
I've never seen
You see the dinosaur's badly animated head at the end of this for a second. See, nice little Loch Ness monster head.
This is strange.
There we go. So that opens the next area, so now we can go to the final part of Dragon Rock, where we get to free the Cloud Runner.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Thanks for taking 2 years.
I don't even know why we had to be on this back. We could have just walked along and just shot ourselves. Gone a lot faster. But whatever. So, the thing a lot of people don't know, you don't need the Ice Blaster to kill these enemies. Fire Blaster works just fine, which we're going to use here. See? Also, there's 3 of them here, but only 2 of them count for the Life Force door because the devs are rushing.
Nice.
So there we throw the barrel through the wall, and that makes it go into the wind tunnel up ahead, which skips using the robot arm to lift it up. Saves about 40 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Normally you have to use these, like, suction things, and then...
Yeah, the robot arm would lift it up, and yeah.
It takes ages.
Mm-hmm.
Monk ass. He shielded it. Nice.
Yeah.
Can you actually dodge those flames completely, no matter what cycle, if you throw at the right angle? Do you know?
No. We're doing, like... Well, you can dodge them always, but you may or may not have to move out of the way. It depends on the
Wait, you
cycle.
didn't even stop it.
Yeah, you don't have to stop this. If you make Tricky Flame fast enough, you can destroy the cage without having to turn it again to stop it. And here I die in the same frame that I free the Cloud Runner, which skips the cutscene of him breaking free and saying, "Oh, I helped Crystal," or whatever. And that saves about 15 seconds.
Oh, you skipped the garbage cutscene.
Yeah, it's the only cutscene skip that works with the death warp in the whole game. I tested literally every single cutscene, and only this one worked.
Yeah, so the cutscene you skipped is the worst animated cutscene in the game and the worst audio files in the game.
Yeah, so I did you all a favor by skipping it over it.
Here we go, first turret.
And now we can go to the Spire section.
This is barely possible. Even RTA, it's ridiculously hard.
So I shoot the 4th one first. Each of these takes 20 shots to destroy. I destroy the first one, then the second one, because you can shoot all the way across the map here without it deloading for some reason, like it normally would in most areas. And then I'm going to shoot the 3rd one last after making the turn, and that'll take us to the Dracor boss fight.
So far.
Yeah, as a kid, this part took me like months to get past, so it's very cathartic doing this.
Jeez.
Alright,
you can get the first turret RTA, it's just really, really hard.
Yeah. This part I find kind of dumb because Fox literally just jumps into a volcano without being able to see the bottom, and only happens to not die because Dracor conveniently put the platform in the right spot for him to not fall in the lava.
What do you mean it's epic, dude? Fuck, it's such
the
a sick
platform doesn't
entrance.
move. The platform doesn't even move until Dracor comes down, so I feel like he intentionally put it there, which makes no sense.
Doesn't this boss give you
wanted-
like Metroid Prime?
He wanted it to be a fair fight. It wouldn't be fair if Fox just fell immediately into the lava as soon as the fight started.
This whole area reminds me of like Metroid Prime, like everything about it.
Also, I don't get why the Cloud Runner can't fly inside of here, but whatever.
Alright, here we go. Draco.
Dracor takes 50 hits to kill, and the game doesn't refill your health before this fight. So if you start with 1/4 of a heart, you'll always have 1/4 of a heart, which is dumb.
And
Anyway.
he's dead. Just like that.
Yeah. Doesn't stand much of a chance. His hitbox, he has 2 hitboxes. He has a tiny one in his chest and one in his cannon arm. So I just shoot the cannon target arm repeatedly.
Does the
and I
arm
can
do more
put Spellstone
damage?
floor. What?
Does the arm do more damage?
No, every time does one piece of damage. He has 50 HP. You have to shoot him 51 times to kill him because you have to shoot him when he has 0 health left for him to die. And yeah, he has 2 hitboxes. They all do the same damage. And the cannon one is kind of weird because when he moves his cannon, like his arm across his body, then the hitbox extends across his body. And the hitbox extends like 3 feet out from the end of his arm, so it makes it extend in really weird ways. That's why it's kind of inconsistent when you shoot at him if he'll hit him or do damage or not.
See you later.
Basically, like I said, the devs are rushing with Dracor, and yeah, that's why it's badly programmed. But fortunately, the TAS doesn't have to look at him too long because he dies in like less than 10 seconds.
I feel like Draco's the only like decently made part of Dragon Rock, to be honest.
Yeah,
it looks cool.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's a fun boss casually. It's just like they were clearly rushing. Like they have no rail shooters in the whole rest of the game, and then almost 3 in a row. Like the high top, then the Cloud Runner, then the Dracor section. That was just like the easiest thing to program. Actually, if we weren't forced into orbit after getting Spellstone 4, we could have saved time by ESL moving back to Thorntail Hollow, but sadly, the game forces us into orbit, so I have to do this section again. So now that we have Spellstone 4, basically our goal from here on out is we want to play Spellstones 2 and 4, because that triggers the endgame sequence. So we have to go to the Ocean Force Point Temple to do that, which is past Cape Claw. We have to do complicated glitches to do that, though, because basically at this point in the game, you normally need to use the Ice Blaster to get to the cannon in Cape Claw, and then break the wreckage open, but we can't do that here. So we're going to have to do complicated tricks instead. And you can see while we're flying in that Thorntail Hollow is still glitch loaded and the mountain is messed up and gray.
Still?
Yeah, it never goes away. It'll still be like that when we come here for the last time. So this is kind of what Gold Bar Skip would have looked like, sort of. Not exactly, but in any event, we're going to do kind of a similar thing here and start another air swim. And the only reason we need Spellstone 2 is basically the way this section of the game works is when you enter Ocean Force Point Temple, it initially has flags set that you can only use the Warp Portal that lets you place Spellstone 2. Because what Warp Portal you warp to the Spellstone Chamber and determines what Spellstone you're allowed to place. Like if you try to place the 4th one while you're supposed to place the 2nd, it won't let you place anything. It just doesn't work. So you place Spellstone 2 and that unlocks the ability to place Spellstone 4. And placing Spellstone 4 unlocks the ability to use the Warp Portal to go to K5 in Walled City.
Here it comes.
And getting K5 triggers the...
There's
oh yeah, this strat was discovered by Fuzzy here.
Yeah, that strat's so cool as well. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
TAS can do it really quickly.
Sorry to interrupt you. It's like, I'm just hyped to see it done perfectly.
Yeah.
It looks so much cooler.
So here we have to kind of maneuver in a weird way. We can't immediately go into Lightfoot Village because we have to avoid a load trigger by the gate. Otherwise the game won't load when we get to Cape Claw. But we also can't go all the way to the edge of the map because like you have to turn abruptly right in order to make it into Lightfoot Village without the game lagging. So we kind of do some weird movements here. We also can't go into that water that's next to us because if we do, Fox will swim up to that water's height and our height will be wrong. We won't be able to cancel our air swim in Cape Claw. So we just barely avoid going into it, as you can see. And it looks like we almost touched it. So now we're going to get the camera out of bounds here to glitch load Cape Claw while we enter it. The reason why we have to glitch load it is because if we didn't, then when we tried to load the Cape Claw objects, the game would just crash because we missed a lot of load triggers.
I was trying to point out the way he did that was extremely scary because you need to like face the map or else you soft lock. You need to look at the previous map. So like he just turned to the last like few frames. It's so scary. Oh,
yeah,
geez.
And now we're in Rainbow Cape Claw.
When does XP land?
Yeah. So now I'm swimming to the object load trigger that's at the start of the map. The only reason why I need to hit that is because it spawns the fire gem object to load, and I want to collect that for a glitch I'm going to do later on.
This is literally how you do Gold Basket. Exactly how you do it.
Yeah, you would normally swim in a glitch to Cape Claw like this, and cancel your air swim, and then just swim up to the top of the platform and open the gate to the gas chamber. But unfortunately, this secret entrance that goes from Lightfoot Village to Cape Claw wasn't known about back then, and the fact that it even works is really weird.
I also want to point out that normally you need to use a cannon here. And he's not going to use a cannon whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. Because unfortunately, using the cannon requires the ice blaster to reach, and we don't have that, so we have to improvise.
There is a way to get to
Luckily-
a Ice Blast. It is possible.
Oh yeah, well if we got ice blast, we could, but
No, you don't need
without
Ice
it-
Blast. You can actually.
oh yeah,
You can
well,
actually
there is that
equip
one
it.
thing I discovered, but it's kind of a meme. Like you can
Yeah.
actually shoot the gate with even in this state. It's just that you can't look at the rubble exploding because the game will crash if you're glitch loaded and blow up the rubble and look at it. So you can shoot the rubble and turn away. But
Okay, so that thing he just did right there is so ridiculous to do RTA.
This is really precise.
Yeah,
Like, cancel
that
air
full-
swim and-
Yeah, that fall he did to land on the corner and cancel his air swim is so ridiculous, RTA. You have to land on this like really precise pixel in the corner of the statue. It's so stupid. And like
Yeah.
I tried it for like an hour with different cameras on like with tools on emulator and I couldn't even get it once. That's how ridiculous that drop was.
Yeah. So what I did there's a weird part of collision you can stand on, sort of, that acts like a floor inside the Krazoa head statue. That cancels our air swim, and we walk around the map and hit the save trigger past the fire gem door.
Yeah.
Then we fall down and navigate around the trigger that normally makes fire spawn, blocking the fire gem that you need the ice blaster to put out. We go out of bounds and avoid it. Then we get the fire gem and save warp back out and get to where the fire gem door was, which brings us back up here with the fire gem.
Oh, this
and
is
then we just go
great.
to the next one.
This is so good.
Oh, this is my favorite. This is one of my favorite tricks in the whole route. It's Indiana Jones skip. Check this out.
So why do you hit it 3 times?
It gives you the maximum amount of time before the gate shuts again, which happens
You
to be
like
just barely.
barely have enough time to make it. It's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah, just enough time to grab his hat.
Nice
So now we're
spells.
doing crazy RNG manip. This is done using a script that Zach Cannon made. He made a script to add random inputs that could. It does a couple things. First, you can see it made that enemy be in the perfect spot to make us take damage without losing time.
Mm.
And more importantly, though, it also set the electric tile puzzle because that's fully based on RNG.
Yeah.
So normally the way it works, there's 6 levels to the puzzle, or 6 rows. You have to hit the right tile on each row to get across, and the pattern is random each time. The ideal pattern is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, like 6 ones, because that way you go in a straight line. But that is a 1 in 4,096 chance of happening. However, doing all that random input just made that happen, so now we can do that.
I thought you were just mashing buttons for fun.
No,
Yeah,
I wasn't.
I'm wrong,
That was a
yeah.
legit RNG manip.
Oh my
Because
god.
the electric tile puzzle pattern gets set when you go past that sliding door into Ocean Force Point Temple. So yeah, you can see I went through without stopping.
So
If
in
you
a
hit the wrong tile in
speedrun,
that puzzle, it sends you all the way back to the start. and you
in a
can do it again.
speedrun, we just press Z at a very specific part, reload the map, and then that makes the RNG the same every time. But obviously,
Too slow
1,
for
2,
me.
3 is slower than 1, 1, 1, 1. So
Yeah.
you know,
GG.
RNG manip can be crazy sometimes. Sometimes mashing items can do it.
Yeah. So we just like mashed D-pad, mashed C-stick, a lot of other stuff, and that changed to RNG. I actually had to retest that section a few times because RNG was in a really, really bad spot. But I added like a few frames of shielding, and when you shield, it adds like 400 RNG calls per frame,
Did
so
you
it
just-
makes things.
Did you just not hit the switch?
Huh? No, I hit it.
What? Oh, you did hit the switch? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
You can do a weird trick there. First of all, you can do a window jump there. That's the one trick Glitchless does allow. You can jump through the window there and skip doing the puzzle. Secondly, I stood on top of the warp portal and hit the flame through the orbit when it was the right color to activate it at the same time that I warped in on the warp portal, which saved like 3 seconds because it skips the cutscene of like showing the orb light up.
Oh. Interesting.
It's possible RTA, it's just really, really precise because you have to be standing up there to do it. Or it actually works if you're at the very edge and hold up while putting away a fire blast, but it's kind of dumb and not worth it, honestly.
Hmm.
So now we're in Ocean Force Point Temple Interior Part 1. This part loads if you have Spellstone 2 in your inventory, or actually, it just loads if you haven't placed Spellstone 2 yet, no matter what's in your inventory. So now our goal is to place Spellstone 2.
Someone's asking about the tricky glitch where he like glitches out. I don't think anyone's figured out exactly why that happens still. It's
Yeah,
funny.
I
It's
don't
funny
know.
though.
Sometimes Tricky gets really elongated and like stretches across the entire map while you're air swimming, and it's
Yeah.
really hard to see. It's just
You
a
can
pain,
you can
but
check
that
out
didn't happen.
my ESA run. Near the end it happens. It's when I enter Cake Law,
Only in a marathon.
of course.
Yeah.
I had to reset my game.
Rip. So this part coming up is pretty cool.
Oh, you get the magic? Fuzzy strats? Yeah.
Yeah, Fuzzy came up with the idea for this, that you can shoot the mana plants and the gems will fall down and you can collect them without climbing up.
There's a bit of
That's nice.
downtime, like, while doing things, so you can just collect mana during things, which is really cool. I might do this RTA as well. It's actually a good place to do it, thinking about it.
Yeah, the only downside is that it's RNG which way the gem falls. Sometimes it doesn't fall off the ledge, although it usually does fall off without any effort.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to take flame damage while I'm doing this. So I wait for the flames to be in the right spot so that they'll get put out by the statues, and then I make Tricky flame me to take more damage. The reason why I'm taking flame damage is because I want to do a death warp right after releasing K5 at the very end of the task to save time. And so our health gets refilled after getting Spellstone 4, and everything after that I'm just constantly trying to take damage to get as low as I can without losing.
Oh, wait, what? Okay, never mind. I was about to say, what are you doing? And then I see a faster one.
Yeah, so you can do that to get the block puzzle done quickly. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, so the corner of these blocks have really weird collision. And if you stand exactly like 45 degrees for some reason to these blocks, like diagonally, you can hit like both of them at the same time for some reason, which you can't. The game doesn't normally let you do that at all. And when you hit the other side, it treats it as if you hit the same side for some reason. That's kind of why the block acts weirdly, and it lets you do that.
Yeah, so that saves pushing it a couple times, which saves a few seconds because you don't have to like keep walking around the map repeatedly.
It saves a lot actually. It saves like 10 to 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it saves even more on the second one because you walk even more along, like in the second version of the block puzzle. But yeah, that one's...
The second one's not really worth RTA. It's too many pushes. But if you do like the one quick push RTA, it saves 10 on the first one.
Yeah, the TAS will do like some really quick stuff there. Well, you'll see in a minute.
Yeah.
So here, if we tried placing Spellstone 4, it just wouldn't work. This room is actually part of Ocean Force Point Temple. It's just like a little bit like out of bounds past Ocean Force Point Temple. And you can see Spellstone 1 is already placed there, even though we never placed it, because the game just loads to have only one placed, because it thinks we're supposed to place Spellstone 2 now, which is kind of weird.
I've always wondered that. It's a weird one.
There's also a second Spellstone chamber in the Volcano Force Point Temple, and that one... You can think of it like to play Spellstone 3, you have to play Spellstone 1, and to play Spellstone 4, you have to play Spellstone 2, but they're not interrelated. Like 2 and 4 don't relate to 1 and 3, they're separate areas.
Is this where you're like spending a long time just trying to get this guy to barge you?
Which part?
One of the enemies here you're trying to take damage on.
I spent a while trying to get him to damage me, and then I realized it's not worth it time-wise. It takes up too much time. It takes like 30 frames of waiting, and in the entire time from getting Spellstone 4 to when we actually Death Warp, all the damage we take only costs us 20 frames, which makes it definitely not worth it.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Half a second, by the way.
Yeah. Gotta count those frames. So because the devs messed up this section badly, the puzzle is always initially set to a pattern of 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. When it's 0, you can walk through any tile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, how did you get that after the manip you did the first time? What did you do to activate the default?
Nothing. It activates automatically once you warp in. Like, you play Spellstone 2, and when you warp back, it sets the pattern to 1,
It's always like that? Really?
Yep.
We never knew that? That's hilarious.
Because everyone always tried pressing the switch to see the pattern, and that makes it harder. It's easier if you just do nothing, and then that pattern's always the same.
That's so funny.
It even works in glitchless runs. You don't have to do anything special. Just come back to Ocean Force Point Temple, don't check the switch, hit 1, 2, and 3, and then walk wherever you want.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was... I thought you had to do the first manip to make it work.
Yeah.
That's
Nah,
cool.
you don't have to.
Skip the grab here? Oh my god.
Yeah, you can skip grabbing the ledge here before the water, you can see.
Yeah, you see him like flick right and left. That's not possible RTA. It's so ridiculous.
That Shark Claw, actually, I do take damage on because it's pretty convenient. It only costs me 2 frames to take damage on it, and I have to go around it anyway. It might actually cost 0 frames because you kind of need it to lunge at you in order to get around it, so yeah. That ice block there, by the way, is terrible because you have to, you literally have to push it right to get it past the wall, and then have to pull it left to be against the wall again.
Yeah, you gotta put it left like a frame. It's so dumb.
Yeah, the way they programmed it is just why? Because it's so exactly the same width as the edge where it's being pushed to.
Where are you getting your magic, sir? Your magic is so low.
Yeah, I skipped getting the mana there because I'm gonna get more during the second flame puzzle here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Same strat.
Yeah. So, by the way, I'm done using Tricky, at least as far as using him for grub tubs goes in the rest of the tasks. Although I will still be using the call and stay command a few times.
I believe all the spellstone locations you place in Force Point Temple will put you in the same place. Like spawn you outside.
To answer the person in chat's question, 1 and 3 are the same place, 2 and 4 are the same place. They're both different. 1 and 3 is located inside the Volcano Forest Point Temple map. 2 and 4 is located in the Ocean Forest Point Temple
Yeah,
map.
the volcano, that's right. My bad.
Yeah. So, yeah, we shoot the mana gem down, and then take damage on Tricky, and then shoot the remaining flames.
I'm loving how much
Yeah.
multitasking is going on here. It's crazy.
Yeah, the flames can only be put out by the flame of the corresponding color, like the statue of the same color.
Alright, how do you do this? Is this the same theory we had? Yeah, that's the fairy strat we had, but it's really hard to do RTA. That thing is really hard.
Yeah, so that does it pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And doing all this stuff activates the rocket boost pad, so now we can get up there.
So fun fact, if you miss one of those shots, the box will just like go the wrong way and like it will just like have to be reset to the beginning. It's really bad time loss. So like it's kind of scary to go for the second one especially.
Yeah.
Insta shot. That's possible RTA. I think when you enter this room, this torch loads the same color every time. I'm pretty sure. I was telling Slasher we need to like YOLO shot this room, because I'm pretty sure it's always blue when you enter.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it gets initialized to exactly, to be honest. So here we can now play Spellstone 4, because the game sets us when we use this warp portal that Spellstone 4 can be placed. And this triggers a long cutscene. Well, actually it's only a minute, but it feels longer.
Yeah. So right now he's stuck in this area. He never opened the actual door to leave. But again, we have Camlock, and Camlock is very useful coming up.
But unfortunately not useful enough to be used in this task here.
Well, there we go. I haven't watched this pod yet, so we'll see what's different.
Now you're going to get to see why I got that fire gem earlier. But yeah, also as an aside, you might be wondering why can't we just ESW back to Thorntail Hollow now? The reason why is really dumb. Basically, like I said, almost all your inventory is stored in low flags, and normally that gets copied when you save after ESWing. But the flag that you play Spellstone 4, for some reason it's in your high flags, which is normally only for temporary flags that are reset when you like die after an area. Because of this, what it means is you can only copy the flag that you play Spellstone 4 when you on the file that hid an ESW trigger, and there's no ESW triggers in between Ocean Forest Point Temple and Thorntail Hollow that this file could hit, and it would have to be hit by this file to copy that flag.
Which sucks.
So we can't use ESW.
Yeah, we have
to walk back the hard way.
All the way back.
Yeah, we're done ESWing, so you're not going to see that again.
I want to see what you do differently here.
Yeah,
So
you do some cool
you don't
stuff.
Camlock.
No, there's no camlock. Well, we will camlock later for Queen Earthwalker cutscene skip, but not here.
Yeah, using a ladder or something probably.
Yeah. So you remember we did the block skip earlier? Because we did that, there's a cutscene that always plays when we come back that opens the gate. This cutscene also cancels camera lock, which means we can't get camera lock because of we just cancel it right there.
Yeah.
But we still have some ideas for how to get out. Like this.
What? Just casual strats? Wait, you just did it for the wall?
Yeah.
That's
You
so
can place
good.
you can place the fire gem through the wall, and the cutscene of it being placed teleports you to like being in front of it to place it. So that
That's
places
so
the gem and takes
silly.
you out. And then because we got rid of the sharp claw door earlier, you can roll past the side of that rock to get out. And now we can get past this bridge because we turned the switch earlier. And now everything comes together that we were working
That
on
is
for the
so
last hour and a half.
convenient. Because like if that wasn't possible, you'd be like screwed.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's like just so convenient. Everything just walks.
Everything comes together there. Yeah, if the
Yeah.
sharp claw door was still there, it has collision from behind, so we wouldn't be able to get back out. But we opened it, and that rock only has one-way collision. You can't go into the temple, but you can swim out for some. You can go out for some reason.
It's actually crazy that's even possible.
Yeah,
placing
the
gem.
devs they didn't care enough to check. They're just like, it's close enough. The rock's probably centered.
Oh, they don't expect you to open it from the other side.
Yeah, they didn't expect you to be able to get up there because normally the water is lowered at that point, so you can't like swim up there.
So there's our
to get
cam
to that.
lock right there.
Oh yeah, so I did camera lock again here. That's the set. Or I set it up so the next time I feed Tricky and Thorntail Hollow, it'll lock the camera.
Yeah.
Also, I'm
So-
showing off my story here.
Fun fact, for a long time we thought this wasn't really possible. Like, for some reason we thought we'd lose camlock while going around here, I don't know why. And then we found out, oh, we keep camlock, great! And then free cutscene skip. So
I
stupid.
think the reason why is that you have to do. It might not have been known originally. You have to feed him again on a different map or something, and I don't know. That's my only guess.
I have no
Because if you
idea.
feed him on the same map, it looks like camera lock didn't get set up correctly, even though
When
it
we
did.
first found Camelot, we were doing all these ridiculous things that made no sense.
Yeah,
Like feeding him twice on the same map and going out of bounds and doing this weird stuff.
yeah. There were some dark ages.
Yeah,
sure.
but people figured things out, thankfully.
Yeah. It's actually good. Fuzzy discovered that you can go feed through the tunnel if you're getting Groundquake, which is good because originally I did something much slower where I like saved and quit, loaded a different file, fed him Tricky at the edge of the shop, and then went back to the file of Moon Mountain Pass and then set up camera lock, which is 40 seconds slower.
Oh, you mean
So-
the well? The well thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, the well thing
Yeah.
was nice, fine. That was easy.
Yeah. Yeah, that skipped it. So here we're gonna feed Tricky at the edge of this map to skip the Queen Earthwalker cutscene where she says like my husband's still up there, like go rescue him in Walled City.
Oh, that time save was nice. You like told Tricky to stay there, so you fed him right away.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm
That kept
stealing
there.
that. I'm definitely stealing that.
So now we go into orbit, and this time we actually are gonna go to Walled City for real.
I just want to say we
So,
haven't
yeah.
desynced, which is kind of pog. 2 hours and 35 minutes in, and not even a single save state. I've just been chilling.
Yeah, I mean, if it desynced at this point, that'd be pretty rare because I've never seen a desync after more than an hour. Like an hour is the absolute latest I've seen it, so that'd be something new if it did desync
It's
here.
been working at 60 FPS apart from that one cutscene. That's it.
Is that the Garundate cutscene or
Yeah,
something?
that one lags. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Special cutscene.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the reason why we couldn't just fly directly to Walled City earlier to get Griselda Spirit 5 is that there's a warp portal to place K5, and there's 2 states for Walled City. Walled City 1, which has all the like T-Rexes roaming around, and you have to get Spellstone 3, and then Walled City 2, which is set to only load once you play Spellstone 4. Oh yeah, we go under the pyramid here, by the way.
Is that because it's faster because you keep your boost or something about dying?
Yeah, because if there's like a wall that opens and shuts, and we're in the wrong part of its cycle to go through the door, and we would lose time if we hit into it. So yeah, just go under the
one
pyramid.
frame. Oh my god.
You can also go in through the ceiling from above without slowing down through these holes in the ceiling. Fun fact. Yeah, this flight's kind of insane.
And it's faster, which makes it even better.
Yeah.
It's not just messing around.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, that takes care of that. So Walled City 2 is the only part where the K5 warp portal is active and works. That's why we had to do all this other stuff. Otherwise, we wouldn't collect Spellstone 2 or 4 or place them. We would just go right to Walled City. But yeah.
So originally we used to think that we had to collect the stones here, and it was really awful. But it turns out you can like manipulate this like temple in the middle to make the game think that you're still inside the temple, which is great because we can just skip this whole area because of it. But
Yeah. Fortunately, due to a dev oversight, it's pretty easy to get out of bounds here. There's a jump trigger that extends onto this little rock, and we can use that to get out of bounds like this really quickly.
is it actually
And then
faster to not go in the water there?
Yeah, and there's no collision on the what's the word? There's no collision behind the wall, so we can just go in like that
Oh
and
my
get
god,
half in
that
the wall.
was so fast. So
Yeah.
what he did there was he hit 3 very specific triggers inside that temple. Basically, the game thinks he's inside the Moon Temple right now. And what's nice about that is, 1, there's meant to be NPCs here that trigger a cutscene. And 2, there's meant to be a door at the top blocking K5. And both those aren't there. And for some reason, K5 is also there, and it works fine, which makes no sense. And I was like, okay. And
Yeah,
Zach found this randomly, and we're just like, oh, we're idiots.
Yeah, it saved 6 minutes, and
Yeah.
nobody thought to.
The Holy Grail, like, it was the Holy Grail day. It's like, oh, free 6 minutes of time save, let's go. And there's no
Yeah.
door, and it works for some reason. We're like, great, yeah, free time save. Awesome.
So yeah, we could raise the temple in Walled City 1. It's just this warp portal only works in Walled City 2 here.
Is it
so
actually
yeah.
there? But you can't use it?
The warp portal is still there in Walled City 1, it just can't activate, so you can't use it. Like, you press A, nothing happens there. So, the way that kind of worked is that there's 3 triggers there. Technically, the middle one doesn't matter, because it only controls weather effects, like the sky is blue, dark blue, or regular color. But basically, each trigger looks at what direction you hit it from, so, like, which direction you came from. If you come and hit them from, you want to hit them from the direction of entering the temple, so the game thinks you're going in. And for the 3rd trigger, what that does is it makes the Moonstone door go away.
Coming up
And
is
when
the
you hit
hardest
first
trick
one-
in the game.
And when you hit the first one, it makes the tempo reset to a default state, which is raised up with the entrance up and loaded, so that you can just walk right into the K5 warp portal. So now you can see why we got ground.
Here we go. This is the hardest trick in the game.
Yeah, we're gonna ground quake hover around these.
One,
to skip
double frame perfect input. 2, double frame perfect input. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And this uses up almost all of our mana.
8.
That's why we need mana upgrades.
9. Okay, so it's 7 double frame perfect inputs and 2 frame perfect inputs to do that trick. It's ridiculous. So that trick is ridiculous. That trick is not RTA viable. It is possible, don't get me wrong, it can be done. But good luck. It saves a lot of time, but good luck. Have fun with that one.
That trick enables skipping Spellstone 1 and the Ice Blaster, so it's a 15-minute time save.
Yep, it skips the whole of Dark Ice Mines and Ice Blast. It's insane.
Yeah. It saves so much time that even though we went out of our way to get Ground Quake, that still saves it's still a net time save of 15 minutes.
So you could technically do the route for this. You could skip Freeze Blast and like get the cannon, doing that weird glitch I was talking about, the other way to get the cannon without Freeze Blast. You could still save like 13, 12 minutes and go for Freeze Blast skip for 12 minutes RTA. But good luck. Good luck, have fun. You're not getting it.
There's like a 1 minute slower way of doing Cape Claw 3 without Ice Blaster, which RTA could do if there was an easier way to do this trick, but there isn't.
Nice roll in 1 frame, by the way. The swag roll at the end.
Yeah, or actually I didn't roll, I picked up the item at the end, because then it repeats the animation of him picking it up for some reason. Just for fun. For some reason, this cutscene like copies your last animation you were doing as the cutscene ended. So because I picked something up as the cutscene ended for no reason, Fox is like picking up the air when the cutscene starts. I just did that for fun. It doesn't save or lose any time.
It's so crazy. The skipping Freeze Blast is such a like. It's just nice it has its own route because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. So now you're gonna get to see a nice glitched cutscene.
If you didn't notice, you're still stuck up here in this floating
So hopefully you enjoy.
By removing the spellstones,
He looks so bored during this cutscene. He's just like, okay, I'll just sit in the statue, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, can you stop talking already, please? I'm bored.
Yeah. The King Earthwalker cutscene that we skipped earlier by like doing all that stuff
MJ.
down, it's still there. The Michael Jackson part.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson lead.
Yeah.
So good.
So this cutscene is still there, and it actually overlaps with the cutscene of Fox saying goodbye to Tricky that plays after getting K5. So it doesn't lose us any time, though, because this cutscene ends before the Tricky cutscene ends. Like, you can see where Tricky turns around. That first cutscene already ended, and now we're still in the Tricky cutscene. So, yeah. That doesn't lose any
He's like,
time.
I'm bored, I'm just gonna sit in the statue, whatever, bro.
Yeah, it seems painful. It's like sitting on, like, these spiked teeth things. Like, why not just sit on the ground?
I'm just casually feed myself to this statue.
Yeah. Sacrifice.
Alright, so this is the last flight in the game. Huzzah!
Yep. This time, when you fly to Thorntail Hollow with K5 in your inventory, you fly directly to Krazoa Palace.
Yeah, if you...
Normally, the game gives you a prompt. Telling you, like, oh, Peppy reprogrammed your R-Wing to go directly to Krazoa Palace, but because we skipped a lot of stuff, we don't get that prompt.
Yeah.
We just
Also,
go directly to
in any percent, we go to Dark Ice Mines after getting K5, and we go to Thorntail with the K5 Spirit. But in any percent, if we use the Warp Stone to go to Krazoa Palace, the game will just crash.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you have to fly there.
You have to fly. It's hard-coded. You have to fly there at the end of the game.
Yeah. So this is actually the highest score I get in any of the flying missions. I think 2,145 is the final score I finished with here. It's only a little bit higher than my second best, but it's a little better.
I respect it because he made the task less boring during these sections. At
Yeah,
least I got
it's
something to
hard-
watch.
Yeah. Oh, another fun fact, if you were to fly to Dragon Rock after saying goodbye to Tricky, even if it was in a glitchless run, you would immediately fall through the floor because the game thinks you need to have Tricky with you to reach Dragon Rock, which is really stupid.
That's
And you
most
can't even
maps in the
pause.
game.
And when you fall through the floor, you can't even pause, so if you didn't save, you're just screwed. It's just really bad.
Hey, look, it's Crystal.
Hey, we forgot about her.
2 hours and
She's
like
fine.
30 minutes later.
Yeah, she's back.
Well, actually, like
Fox
2020,
Fox
we made 2 files.
Fox didn't forget about her though.
Yeah. Even though like he never really met her a single time in this
Yeah.
game.
He skips the K2 cutscene where he falls in love with her, but that's part of the game's lore. So yeah, here we're just going into release K5, and then we're gonna death warp out
Ooh,
to
nice
get back
damage.
to the top.
That was good.
Oh yeah, we take damage here. It only loses 1 frame to take the fall damage there, and then we're gonna walk along the railing here.
I love that
It's a
line
little
you
faster.
take.
It's a little bit faster because we're doing we're moving along a circle with a smaller radius, and yeah, so the circumference of the circle is smaller, which means we're moving less total distance. Also, we're gonna die so quickly after this cutscene, you won't even be able to really see what killed us. So just take note. There's a shark claw to the left. Hopefully, you saw him, because you might not see him again.
I guess that's the nice
Anyway.
thing about freeze blast skip. You got low health because taking all the damage stuff.
Yeah, you take a lot of the flames getting through them.
It's pretty cool.
So yeah, we release K5, and that opens the gate to K6. If there was a way to get past this gate early, then we could just get like K3 early, and then go to Krizoa Palace, do the skip to get past the gate, get K6, and beat the game immediately. But sadly, this gate is clip-proof, and there's no way in without opening it. So
That
now we're
was
gonna die in the shark
so
claw.
fast.
Yeah, you barely even see what killed him.
Hey, you can move during the end of that cutscene, by the way. That's how you got to the shark claw really fast there.
And that takes us back to the top of Krizoa Palace next to the R-Wing.
So you
Now
said
we
there's
can
no
just
way
walk
to
these.
speed this up, right? He always walks like a set time.
The sharp claw?
General scales.
Oh, general skills.
When he's in the
Yeah,
mirror.
yeah. I don't think there's. I think he only has 1 walk speed. Like, I don't think there's a second way. And I know he's constantly moving at the same rate, so it's just a matter of getting him in a certain distance. So to explain what's coming up, first we enter this room and trigger the Life Force door. What's supposed to happen is you go in the center of the room, General Scales falls from the ceiling and says, "I've been waiting for you, Fox McCloud," etc., etc. We don't want to do that, it's slower, so General Scales is actually just chilling out of bounds behind that wall. So we're going to get close enough that he locks onto Fox, then walk over here, which makes him start walking to us through the wall and pull our staff out. And the trigger for the second cutscene starting is that normally after the first cutscene ends, you pull out your staff to fight General Scales, and when you press A, this cutscene starts. But because we had our staff in hand so close to General Scales, it triggers the cutscene anyway and saves 10 seconds.
They left him inside the mirror for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. He's just like chilling, like 20 feet out of bounds.
What is going on here? Do you think they're like he's like summoning them to betray him or something?
Yeah, Andros is telling spoiler alert, the Shark Claws to he's making them turn on General Scales because he's the one controlling them. I think
That's what I thought
Or
was
I don't-
happening. Because it seems like why else would they like go confront him like this?
Yeah, the ending of this game, it's kind of a meme. They ran out of time, basically.
Well, they had to shove in Andros somehow. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Also,
here's
you
the
can see
best part.
we activate the first cutscene here when we go through the middle, so that makes General Scales teleport to being standing and fall again, and Fox tries to fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how he just falls in the air.
Yeah, he tries to fall over, but yeah.
Poor
So
Fox.
we watch the first cutscene at the end of the second cutscene, but it ends before the second cutscene ends, so we don't lose time. Sort of like with watching the Walled City cutscenes that overlap.
It's actually really impressive how the cutscenes are all real time, so they're just overlapping, but the things still happen from the cutscenes at the same time. It's so weird. I'm surprised the game
Yeah.
doesn't break, like crash or anything. Like, how is he even like coded to handle it? Is beyond me.
Yeah, for how finicky it can be with some things, like having tricky with you when you fly to certain areas, it's pretty lenient for a lot of other things, like with certain cutscene overlaps.
Yeah.
So we release K6 there, and then this triggers the endgame cutscene where we fight Andros.
Oh, we never mentioned. This whole game is on one map. So,
Yeah.
there's a part where he swam from the village to Cape Claw because that bit of water was out of bounds barely. But you can kind of see just from that one, like everything's next to each other. And also he swam like through the well, to the well from the village as well, to Cape Claw. And you can see like everything's kind of all together. It's just that you can't just swim out of bounds area without soft locking.
Yeah. There's basically 3 layers, like which contain all the maps. So there, you could think of it sort of like 3 sub-maps, or like a 4-dimensional map, or whatever you want to think of it as. But yeah, almost everything is on one map, because like there's one main map, and then there's 2 maps that have some of the other stuff. Like some of the flight sections are on a different map than the one that has most of the things in it.
Yeah, it's basically possible with the dismount glitch to fall into the map screen in the game. You can swim in the map
orbit.
screen.
Yeah, you can swim literally into orbit, so you see Fox just swimming around next to the planet where you select what planet to fly to.
It's so
It's pretty
funny.
nice.
I wonder why they made it like that though. Maybe it's a safe space or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe it was just easier because everything kind of loads like in real time. Or what I mean to say is there's no loading zones. Like in Ocarina of Time, you go into an area, you go into a loading zone, and then the next area loads. Here, it's just like everything is constantly loading when you reach it. Like when you go from Thorntail Hollow to Cape Claw, you never have like a black screen. You just keep moving. And I think having everything be on one giant map just made that easier to do or something. Also, I like how this is Crystal's staff, but she misses every shot. Not one of them hits.
Dude,
any
she
of the
can't
huge
aim.
eyes or goals she has.
She just can't aim.
Yeah.
Look at his aim. Insane.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. She should have just given the staff back to Fox.
Alright, I'm actually really excited for Andros. I've not seen this yet.
Oh, you're gonna like it.
I want to see how fast.
This saves 40 seconds over the task that came before it in terms of the fight.
40 seconds sounds a bit silly, but I want to see what's going on.
Yeah, you'll see.
Yeah.
So we should be pretty safe from desyncs now, unless I jinxed us. But
I mean, we're at the end. It's fine.
yeah, I have a video of this last 5 seconds anyway. So.
Let's go.
Now, to
Hmm.
destroy
The task is walking, Pog.
Hey.
Yep, that's possible at the A. The hands are the hard part.
Yeah. So Andros has kind of 5 phases. You shoot out the jewels, then the hands, then the jewels, then the hands, then his brain.
Oh, I like the shot at the beginning. Did you shoot both at the same time?
For the jewels?
Yeah, the part there.
Oh, no, each one is one at a time. That
Okay.
was really hard to do.
I know this is possible RTA with the spin. I've done the spin you're doing. It's really hard.
Yeah. That, getting all the jewels there like that without taking damage on the hyper beam or getting shut out of the way was like impossibly hard because he aims his hyper beam wherever you just were, so you have to keep moving back and forth perfectly.
Yeah.
It's way harder than it looks, actually.
Yeah,
I'm
so
kinda
far
surprised
this is
it
the
even
same as a perfect RTA.
So far.
Yeah, but I want to see the brain stuff. That's like gonna be really interesting.
The brain's gonna blow your mind.
If you're gonna one cycle it, I'm like, oh my god.
We'll
Dude,
see.
it's probably gonna be a one cycle.
Normally, RTA takes 2 cycles to kill a brain because you can't fire like enough shots in RTA to destroy the brain in 1 cycle. But we'll see what the task comes up with.
Alright, here we go.
Get ready on time, also.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, he's getting melted. Dude! There it is. Oh, I saved state at the same time. 251.46. Sick. That's crazy.
GG.
Damn, one
Oh,
cycle
that's
the
the task.
Andros. So this would have been like 3.5, 4 minutes faster if it had gold basket with all the other little mistakes like the box, no box there, and slower
Yeah.
movement to Cake Claw. Those are the only things really. Everything else was pretty much the same.
Yeah, that's correct.
So it's gonna be in like a 246, also 247. Yeah, it's crazy. So this is already 40 minutes faster than the world record. Well, 39 minutes. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, 39 minutes faster than the world record.
Yeah, the ending was definitely a nice cap off to it, getting the 1 cycle. The only reason why that's possible is because you can actually shoot Andros' brain while he's like doing his zoom/lunge attack on you by being off to the side perfectly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that good to go for RTA? Is it free time save?
No. Because you have to manipulate him using RNG even if that you can't control to like lunge as hard as he can to the right and then as hard as he can to the left so that you can shoot him without needing to move left or right at all to get out of the way in order for it to work. So it's not like something you can really control.
That was good. I'm glad it was.
I'm kind of surprised the GameCube doesn't crash with all these sharp claws loaded, or that I can handle like 200 objects loaded at once like this, but I guess it can handle it. It kind of reminds me of that like Mario 256 demo or something.
Yeah, maybe that's where they got the idea.
Yeah. But surprisingly, yeah, this isn't...
What? Did the Earth just
it's not
like...
free-rank.
Did the Earth just like reset itself in a few frames to start this cutscene? It like jolts. Maybe that's an
probably.
emulator thing.
No, I think that's just how the game is programmed, if I had to guess.
It's really bad. It like jolted.
Great job.
Yeah, they like I said, they kind of rushed the ending, added Andros in at the last minute.
Mm.
You were originally supposed to fight General Scales to end the game. You weren't supposed to just have it be a meme engine like that, but
Oh, and Tricky says hi.
Yeah,
I was, however, very surprised to hear that Andros was
it's okay. You got the meme cutscene in.
yeah. Luckily, the game explains what just happened for us in case it didn't make sense, since it kind of didn't make sense.
Yeah, good job, man. It works. It's the most important thing.
At least this time we'll see
That's
the
true.
last of him. I'm
Heck yeah.
transferring your fee as we speak.
Yeah.
Never
Certainly glad you have finished. That was hard.
We can finally repair the ship.
So I guess since we're coming up on the credits, probably a couple people I'd like to thank for helping out with the tasks while I've been doing it. First of all, I'd like to thank Zach Cannon, since he found like every glitch after 2016 practically was found by him. Like, he found K4 early, or at least the method of it that wasn't terrible. There was an earlier method found for it that you had to like swing your staff out of bounds, moving forward 1 inch at a time for like 10 minutes, which was awful. But he found the modern version that this task used. He found Groundquake early, Queen Earthwalker cutscene skip, Sun and Moonstone skip, and also made the scripts that let me do the 111 RNG manip, so that was useful. JubJub62, I'd like to also thank, since he had got me kind of interested in Star Fox Adventures back in 2016, because he was the first person I saw doing speedruns of it, and gave me kind of the idea that I could look into it at some point. Let's see, BBQR, I also like to thank. He's the one who made the task this game in 2016, and he also discovered you can skip grabbing ledges, which I used like everywhere. And he discovered Groundquake hovering, just like the concept that you could do it, which I used to find Ice Blast skip later on. So that was nice. Reina Misaki, I'd also like to thank for doing like basically glitch hunting, debugging, etc., etc. Yeah. Besides that, Dark X-Rain for helping with these things, Fuzzy, obviously, for showing this task and for finding a lot of tricks, Celestial Derp for helping with optimizations, and you for verifying that it played back correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
This was my first time even playing the whole thing. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's good. Dude, the best part when you probably make a task is like playing the whole thing back and it's like, yes, it works!
Yeah.
Oh
Especially for this game, because it's not emulated the best on Dolphin. Like, it desyncs a lot compared to what you'd expect. But yeah.
Cool, man. I'm glad it worked.
Mm.
That's the most important thing. And like, congrats, it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, the only thing left, I guess, is to finish the 90% tasks.
That won't take anywhere near as long. It's just gonna be figure out how to do the memory manip as fast as possible, pretty much.
Yeah, it should take about less than 2 weeks, honestly. I mean, once I work on it. It's pretty close to the end already, as it is.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe we'll premiere with that as well. It's a lot shorter, so it'll be like probably like 45, 50 minutes or something.
Yeah, it'd be a quick one.
Didn't Zach already make one? It wasn't optimized. No.
Also, it was spliced together halfway through, so it wasn't really a full task.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like demonstrating how it could have worked.
Thank you as well for letting me like premiere this. It's cool.
Oh yeah,
fun.
no problem.
Hopefully Chad enjoyed it.